All right, lady and gentlemen.
Why did you make me copy this into Paint as best as I could from memory?
Because at this point, I would just like to do things and stuff. It's cool and all hiding the map, but this is just me right now saying, okay, I think I'm done with that.
He wanted to make a point.
I feel bullied, yeah.
I wanted
and-
everybody to see it.
Made a map and he's proud of it.
Okay, so, uh, first off, Makoso, you do actually have
Hello.
an inspiration, so please take an inspiration card.
Oh my gosh.
Buzz down. That's a buzz down.
Draw one?
Singular inspiration card.
Enter doesn't work. I have to actually click it.
Singular.
This is my favorite.
All right. So, you have an inspiration card that you can use, and it does whatever it is it says it does. So,
I was trying to steal it. No,
on the last
You can say no.
I did.
Good.
on the last session of Dungeons and Dillons here, you all tried to make yourselves as comfortable as you could in the given circumstances of being taken prisoner by these Yuan-Ti. There was a couple of expeditions, if you will. We did several rounds in which you guys talked to some special individuals that were prisoners. You got some more information and got a couple of tools that you were looking for. So, one of which was Makoso's shield that you found.
Woo.
Jasmine, you did find a very nice knife amongst
I'm
the
excited for the knife.
refuse, if you will. It was taken from all these swamp denizens.
Mine now.
So, where we're going to pick up is Artur and Makoso. As you kind of come to in your cell, there's a large as the door flies open. And as the door flies open, you see prisoners are carted in, put into cells. Your cells are open as you begin getting, yanked from your cells. At this point, you're pretty used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You do happen to notice everybody is returned. You look over, and Edmund does not appear to be in his cell.
I mean, the man can turn into all sorts of animals.
Yeah.
So, Mukosa's not too worried about him.
He's the only one of us who can actually get out and then come back in. But it is kind of weird of him to be out while he knows that they're going to be coming back in to get people. But I don't think either of us are particularly worried.
Yeah, not worried.
Okay.
He's a big boy. He can handle himself. Like, if he doesn't return for a while.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is there anything else that you guys would have liked to discuss during any of your downtime? Any sort of plans, any sort of things that you guys were looking to do?
Next time I get in, like, a room with hopefully Edmund, but at least others like Felix and Makoso, I would like to tell them that I did meet with, Mermaid Man? That guy?
Yes!
And I did meet him, and, that we should try to attempt to talk to him again later when we have a plan. But that's kind of what I communicate to the group. That's what I've done, so.
Okay. 10-4, so that's easy enough to communicate that. I mean, you can pretty much tell it to anybody in the room.
Yeah.
If you're just like, if it's not private knowledge, if you will. If you don't care who hears it, you can just, You know what I mean? You guys can talk amongst yourselves
I
as long
suppose,
as you're
yeah.
not overly loud, if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems everyone here is just waiting for someone to make the first move for them. It's a shame they don't have their own initiative.
Yeah.
All right. So, you all are taken kind of to the ruins and begin your labor shift. Artur and Makoso. Is there anything you're specifically looking to do during the shift?
I'm looking to stash my shield somewhere. Like, in, like, one of the digging areas. Behind some, like, rubble out of the way. Because I want to have, like, reliable access to it. For when the time comes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
-1.
joy.
If you wanted me to do it for you, I got better than you do, but
I mean, I got this, but if you see me like struggling, like if I end up struggling, you could be like, "Hey."
you're just like glancing around looking for a place to put this. I'm gonna, like, if I get a chance, I'm going to try and help him to at least give him advantage. I'm not going to make the roll for him, but I'm going to try and help him.
Is there anything you're wishing to do?
Like,
over the course of
essentially,
this?
no. Besides helping him with the shield, which I'm essentially trying to point out a better place for him to put it. Like, Artur knows how to sneak around relatively well. He's essentially looking for an out-of-the-way place.
Okay.
That's... could be a lot worse.
It could.
Not the worst roll.
Okay. All right, just barely made it over their passive perception. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, there's one point where like they look to you and you kind of like half-ass like, oh, like you start digging again, and then when they're like, and they're just kind of scanning over, right? And there's way more workers than there are guards, you know what I mean? So you have to keep an eye on everybody. So you kind of find them and you're like, okay, you try and stash it under some stuff, to a spot where you think is hopefully well hidden enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 10-4. Anything else you guys are looking to do on your labor shift?
I mean, I feel like the plan is, if we do end up breaking out of here, to have some of Makosa's equipment ready for him so that he stands a chance, but I mean, we already have a rough idea of where some of that stuff is, and it's not like we can get to it ourselves, so I don't think there's a whole lot we can do, personally.
Okay. Jasmine.
Okay. I think I would like to use the shift where the other two have been taken out of their cells. Come out of hiding, and I think I'd like to take, because rubble, like where the walls have fallen down in the cells next door.
Yep.
Okay. Now, did they leave the cells open?
No.
There's people. There aren't people in them.
No, there are not. They're essentially they're taking like they don't take 100% of the people every time, so there are still people in the room. Some of the cells are empty, some of the cells are not empty. If that makes sense.
Okay. Then I think I'm going to use my turn to try and slip back and forth between cells. As many, like, fist-size, like, blocks and put them in the empty cells. Like in the corners so the guards can't see.
Okay. So like little pieces of rubble and whatnot. Okay.
You're gonna have to put some power behind a swing.
Right. Okay. You see a couple of like people, like they're just like looking at you. They're not really saying anything, especially so in those two rooms specifically, right? They're used to seeing you come in and out now because you've been doing it a few times,
Have
right?
been. Yep.
So yeah, they don't really think anything of it. They just kind of take mental note. But for the rest of it, like any of the other prisoners you've seen are in like essentially these giant pens that they've created. They're not like in cells, if you will. It's like a wide open room. So
Right.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Are you just doing it for like these two rooms? You're just trying to do
The
it.
two sets of cells that I've been interacting with people in.
Okay. Yep.
I'm moving the debris from one side to the other, so more people have improvised weapons just in case there was to be some sort of.
Right. Okay. 10-4. So you do that. I'm gonna say Edmund doesn't go yet, but you do happen to notice Edmund's not there, but you also notice that Makoso is not there, Artur is not there.
Okay. So I'm not stopping to talk to anybody. I'm just kind of doing my thing and staying out of sight.
Okay. Cool. So just because Edmund, go ahead and roll a actually never mind. Hold on, give me 1 second here.
That's kind of spooky.
So we're just gonna say it's the next day. We're just gonna do 1 day increments for right now because I want to see what's going on. So you guys finish your shift, and Edmund is still not in his cell. Still nowhere to be found. So one of the men in the kind of top right, that's closest to the door cell, pipes up. It's a Suman. Hey, where's your friend?
Wait, he's from the other cell, or he's in ours?
He's from another cell, but he's kind of like calling over to you guys.
Um,
The tall one, elf.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he's a powerful man. He can get out to the cell. He can turn into things. So he tends to come and go as he pleases, but... So, I'm not entirely sure. I doubt he's been captured or anything like that, because I don't think they have something that could hold him with his abilities.
He is where he is. I trust we'll see him shortly.
Yes,
Unless you
I
have,
imagine he'll be back.
unless you have cause to believe otherwise. And I'll look at Suman.
He kind of
Because
puts his hands
if-
up like a meh, and he's
if something were to happen to him, he would cause quite a racket going down. I've seen him turn into a bear.
he kind of like looks at you and a bear, eh?
Natural magics that are amazing. People can do amazing things with the right know-how. And at that, he just kind of looks down at his arm and a little bit of golden lightning trails down it. Little spark of light.
So, what's the plan?
I mean, we're just looking to get as many people on our side as possible, and probably gonna be pretty violent getting out of here, but at this point we have a rough idea of the layout. We've been working with someone who apparently broke in here. She likes to skulk around.
I have seen her.
So, I mean, we have some heads or tails of where exits might be, exits and entrances. But a lot of these people, they won't be too big of a group, and some of them are too noisy to really sneak out. We're probably going to have to get people armed. With this many hands, it's going to be hard to control. They can't kill us all.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Better you than me. We'll see. We'll see if I can do voices tonight. I'm not feeling super good, so we'll see. I'm kind of like.
Not to make it easy for them, though.
But with enough people, we can put up a good fight. I don't need much, just a weapon. He could use his armor, which is supposedly in a room not far from here. We're pulling things together.
Okay. Well then, where, when?
Sometime within the next few days, hopefully. Next time I see Edmund, if it's tomorrow or the next day, if he comes by again, we're going to talk. He's the one who's planning. If he doesn't come back, we'll figure something out. But the benefit of the doubt. We've got time. None of us are dropping dead anytime soon.
I'm sure you've seen them. Not everyone can work hard labor like that. Every day. And he kind of issues over, and you see Felix, and he's just fucking beat. He's like gasping for breath. He's got whip marks on him. He's got bruises and various things.
Not everyone can. What did you do before you worked here? Or, well, we're here, captured.
I ran the stables.
I grew up...
in Maidwan.
I grew up on a...
for business to Nusha. I was taken.
I grew up on a farm in a barren and cold land known as Nordvinden, far in the north. The winters would take people and animals alike. I'm no stranger to this kind of work. I can go a little while longer.
Well, so be it. But don't wait too long. Like I said, I will not
We need to know what we're doing. So.
precisely. I will not risk my neck or the neck of my people. No. Not unless I know for sure.
Understood.
Alright. And with that, we'll say again, like, a day goes by. And at this point, haven't seen Edmund yet by the time you're taken for your next shifts. So, what do you guys wish to do today?
Not die.
Yeah, sounds about right. I don't know if it's possible, but on my shift, I would like to try and find the woman who travels around. I don't know if my character knows her name. I don't know if my character knows she's called Jasmine.
I don't think
But-
you've spoken, no.
But knowing that she exists, I would like to see if I can find her. I'm not gonna go out of my way, but if I happen to see her at any point throughout the day.
Okay.
I guess that's really my only goal, and also see if I see anybody of any particular interest, anybody that I've heard of, or maybe if we find Mermond again. Is Mikoso on this shift as well?
Makoso's not on this shift. You do see Mermond on this shift. Makoso's not with you this time.
Okay.
I'm trying to blank. Felix is with you on this one.
Okay. I just don't know what Artor could say to Mermond.
Right. Yeah, he trades like a glance to you, kind of like a like expecting.
Yeah, and I guess at some point, if I do get a chance to talk to him, I just kind of wander up, and I'm just like, nothing is set in stone thus far, but there's a room next to the cells that we're kept in. It has some equipment. My friend, big, strong fellow by the name of Makoso, his armor is in there. If we can get some of that equipment out, we would have a well-equipped paladin, a warrior of some magical skill. I don't need much to fight, and most people here are relatively strong. Put a rock or a pick in their hand and they could do something. We're still working on it, but there is a hope. Is essentially the information that I give him.
He kind of he nods and essentially tells you to let him know when you have more information.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like goes back to work. Yeah, Makoso. So you're kind of chilling in your cell for a little bit because you don't happen to be on the shift. You get like a little bit extra.
Yay!
And
Nap time.
so as you're taking a rest, Jasmine, what are you doing?
Experiment, if no one minds.
Pardon?
I'm gonna try something, if no one minds.
Oh yeah, always try things.
Okay.
As long as it isn't killing us.
I might get killed. I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, might is acceptable.
Possibility. Not one of you guys, but okay.
Oh, even better.
On my next venture out, I'm going back to the room with random people's crap in it.
Okay.
And 'cause I remember seeing the armor in question.
Correct.
And
so there was, again, some of this might have been lost in translation. A lot of the stuff was taken out. Not everything, but a lot of the stuff was taken out last time because, like, there's the first time you went there, right? When, like, there's just, like, a bunch of stuff in there. And then when you went back the second time, there was still some of the bags left in there from, like, the backpacks, right? Like, Edmund's pack was still in there. You still found some useful things, but, like, they've definitely been pilfering. They've been moving some of that stuff.
What is still there?
So you take a peek in it. It's been mostly cleared out. There are, at this point, it's pretty much just a couple of like backpacks and like refuse sort of things that have been left behind. It's been picked mostly clean because at this point it's been a couple of days since you first discovered this. So they've been moving these goods over time.
Just not a character question. There's no way they could use the armor, right? They're probably just moving it someplace else.
Perhaps you would assume so. I mean, out of
okay.
They're moving it somewhere. Of course, you're not sure where. Though, given that you've drawn this map and that you've been sneaking around, Jasmine, I will, just because Edmund and I did this yesterday, so because this was where you found the map, or I say found the map, but found where there was the stone tablet that you copied the map from, was in the small room. This is essentially the large breeding ground that they have. And then right here, it seems like they're storing a bunch of goods.
Right.
So you do know that they are.
So there's nothing to rescue from that particular room.
You can do an investigation check to see kind of what's left behind, but it's mostly like packs and stuff like that. They've taken any of more of the high ticket items like weaponry and armor. It's kind of like, seems like they've been taking those more valuable things first.
Okay. I don't know if it would be worth the investigation if, like, all the good stuff is gone. It's just personal items at this point. Okay, moving forward. The cell, the guy with the doll, is he still there?
Yes, he happens to be not in a labor shift.
Excellent. I'm going to have him come close to the bars.
Hey there, lady. Got anything else for me?
I do. And I'm going to his cell.
And you're going to what?
I'm gonna open the door to his cell.
Okay, go ahead and do a lockpick check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if
Remember where I
you
put the-
let's see if you inherit the swashbuckler luck, because Vernon was ass at this. Didn't pick a single lock in the entire campaign.
One.
It's not like that.
Hold
many
on, I'm looking
things
for
that
it.
were
Shush.
locked, to be honest. Was there any doors that you did, like that we came across that were locked that you even needed to unlock?
That I successfully unlocked? No. But there were like 3 or 4 that I attempted to unlock and never succeeded.
Trying to remember. Oh yeah.
What would I roll for that?
It's thieves' tools. It's
Thieves' tools,
your tool
yeah.
proficiency.
So, yeah, if you look in your character
It-
sheet,
If you don't have them, then you can add them.
Of them, I clicked it and it didn't do a thing.
okay, hold on. It's probably brought you up and it asks you what skill you want to use for that, because most of the tools, that's what it does. So
Yeah,
there might
which would be
like a
dexterity.
secondary skill, or secondary
Yeah.
screen, I should say. So you would go down, blah blah blah. So you would. You don't have it on here. Forgery kit, burglar's pack, thieves tools. So you have thieves tools, but you don't have a proficiency. Hold on.
It's in the proficiency's in the compendium. You can just drag it. Thieves' tools is actually in Roll20 compendium.
Okay, I got it. So now it's in there, right? It's in your tools and proficiencies and
Okay,
custom
thank you.
skills. Yep. So you click on that, and then when it queries, you go to dexterity. This is dexterity based.
But
Okay, yeah. So
Oh, jeez.
no problem. So you kind of look at this and you're like, and it's like Swift. It's just like you get the lockpicks in there. It's like it's a 2-tumbler system. Tumble. It's like a giant padlock that's kind of clunky and rusty. If anything, it takes more strength than dexterity because it's clunky and rusty. To kind of like, you almost have to like, jiggle it and twist it at the same time to like get it to release all the way. So you can like take it off and open the door. And as you do, a couple of the other people that are in the cell wake up. They're kind of like,
So I'm going to head to the front door of the grouping of cells, open it. Outside. I want to see where they run and how far they get. I'm going to tell them to go left. I want to see how far they get left.
You're brutal. I love it.
go ahead and make a
Something has to be done.
persuasion check. Actually, don't make any checks yet. Hold on, because he's gonna. They're kind of like whispering amongst each other, and yeah, he pipes up. He's kind of like holding onto his doll, and he's looking at you suspiciously. And he's just kind of like looking at you. He's like, I thank you, but they will kill me if I go.
Or you'll die in here. And in here. And I'm going to use intimidation on that.
Okay, so you're like, if you don't go, I'm going to kill you.
I'm
That's
definitely threatening them. Weapons out.
okay. Go ahead. And he's kind of like, he reels back a little bit and he looks at a couple of the other people that are in the cell.
This is brutal. I love it.
Oh,
Nice. All right. So as you kind of do that, you're trying to be like that. You know when you like try and do something cool and then you fumble? You pretty much do that. You like go to dry your weapon and you like can't dry your weapon and like gets stuck and then it just like cling 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 onto the floor and you're like, you have, like hold on a second, like you have to like bend down and pick up your weapon and
Draw from the crit fail deck. No, I don't.
Not on skill.
your sword
Here,
breaks.
Space.
he
No, sorry,
he
I'm not here.
he recloses the door, which it's not locked, right? Because it's he would have had to put the padlock back on. He just closes it and looks at you and he kind of spits on the ground. I would have rather die by your hand than snakes. You know what they do, don't you?
What do
Throw
they do?
me. Throw me. I hear the stories. They would throw me into a pit of snakes. Eat me alive. No, fuck that. I would take a blade any day.
You can be snake fodder because you're obviously not used to me, and I'm gonna leave him here.
Okay. No problemo.
Sorry.
So you see him kind of like slinking down, like with his doll, like into the corner, back into the cell, and he's like looking around at the people that stirred in the cell, and he's like,
And that's like
Well.
across the way.
yeah, it's like pretty much adjacent to your room. It's like two rooms that are adjacent, fairly symmetrical, and kind of the same. Yeah. So
Whatever, there's caverns full of fodder here.
okay. What else would you like to do?
I think going to these two areas that are like kind of to the right of where I am now. They're just caverns, no rooms, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of wider caverns, and all along the perimeter of these two like forked areas, if you will, are just like a bunch of these wooden pens that they've built.
It's alright. Is there anything on top of them? Any ledges I can climb up and stay out of sight?
Not really. It's all kind of like one level, right? It's all like it's not very high, right? If anything, like at times you kind of have to crouch down. It's more like it's wide, and there's like all these roots hanging down from the ceiling. So it's not like a
Right.
wide like cavern, like a cave cavern. It's more like essentially just a wide tunnel, if you will.
Okay. Gonna need more time to for the day. Kind of safety, that is.
All right. So, okay, with that, Makoso, you get like a little bit of an extra rest, and while you're waiting for your next shift, and Artur will say when you get back at some point, I don't know what your plan is, Jasmine, but Artur was looking to talk to you.
Yeah. If I happen to run into her at any point.
So wait, is Jasmine hiding or did she leave? As far as I can tell.
As
I
far as
went
you
back
can
to
tell.
where I'm safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she didn't come into your room. She went into a different room. That's right next door.
Yeah, she was adjacent.
Yeah.
When you say wait, the room next door,
Yeah.
not the cell.
Correct.
So I probably didn't hear it.
Correct.
Okay,
That-
cool.
that's what I
Just
was
making
saying.
sure. Yeah, for some reason I thought cell, So I'm like, I just witnessed that,
Mm.
but I didn't. So never mind.
No, I might come there next. I know there's people there.
Okay, so kind of waiting more towards the end of the day. Yeah, Artur, you don't see her out and about. You haven't seen her out and about at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been like she's come to visit like during times when no guards are around. So in lieu of that, okay, Edmund, if you're still here, if you're with us still.
Oh no, I am.
Okay.
Just have my.
So you kind of wake up in that, like, you know, when you sleep for a really long time, you're like, you can't tell if it's like daytime or nighttime, or like you're just disoriented. It's kind of like that. You do receive the benefits of a full rest, but the sounds of the swamp are all around you. You've nestled right into this bush. There's kind of like thorns and whatnot are like scraping at your skin a little bit, but you are is, to the best of your knowledge, free.
All right. So let's see. So, did we want to do that second survival check to see if I knew where I was at this point in time? As I kind of come out of my... It's daytime, right? At this point? Because it was sunset when probably dark when I found a place.
Correct. Yeah, so it's been, go ahead and, because you don't technically have to sleep. That's the weird thing about elves. Elves are weird, like, why don't you have to sleep? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, because they're magical fake creatures. It makes sense.
Okay, so you kind of just, like, meditate, and then you just lay in a bush for 4 hours, because it's a cool thing to do, I guess. And, whatever it is the elves do, you know.
Just lay in the bush.
Let's say you meditate for extra long or whatever, and you finally kind of come out and you're like looking around. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I can
it
do
is
like
daytime.
I can do light stuff, you know, light stuff. Walk around and maybe pick some berries or something. I don't fucking know. Well, okay, so it's daytime.
So it is daytime. Do you wish to? So go ahead and. It depends what you're doing. Are you just going right back to the?
I'm gonna see where I'm at first. Just kind of see if I can discern the area that I'm in, and that will discern what I do next.
Okay. So go ahead. So this requires you like to move around, right? So you would move
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in my human form. I'm just naturally sneaking around, staying in the foliage and the underbrush, and just being sneaky in general, hiding the best I can.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
This.
Okay.
Yeah, not a good roll.
Fortunately, it was only a 10.
Oh, okay, good.
Very low chance that you're gonna... So as you kind of pop up, right, you find yourself, you've actually kind of gone, you're like right here. Get your bearings. You're just west of Nusha.
Just west of Nusha, okay. Good. And do I know where I came out at? I'm assuming I can find my way back. I'm gonna go into Nusha.
Okay.
I want to sneak into Nusha, and I actually want to see if I can find the other knight and the girl.
Okay, so go ahead and all right. I have to get my 1, 2, 3. I'm doing math in my head real quick. Okay.
No problemo.
All right. So go ahead and do. And how are you looking for them? Are you like going in town like Nightingale, like
Yelling.
are you just sneaking around and trying to see if you can find them, or
didn't we send them to a specific house in Nusha?
no? You just said go to Nusha, and essentially keep yourself safe and lay low until we're done.
Hmm.
And that was about 5 days ago.
Oof, they're definitely dead. It's 5 days. I know most of them on the ground. Yeah, you know what? I'll go house to house.
Stand in the middle of town and scream.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna take a while. So
Yeah, it's gonna
Go
take days. I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna do that. I can actually just cast locate person.
okay, cool.
Or
What's the
or actually, let me see. Locate object actually,
okay? What
because we
object?
gave her. I think I gave her one of my scimitars or my bow, one of the two.
True, you did. Okay. So
Then
what
1,000
is
feet.
the radius?
There's the spell.
1,000 feet.
About 1,000 feet. Yeah.
Okay, that's what, about a quarter mile ish. Not even a quarter mile. Okay. Alright, so you begin to go around and look for signs of them. And they did have rations and whatnot. I'm
Mhm.
trying to think if they would have stayed around because it's been 5 days. So, go ahead and roll a D100. If you roll a 20 or lower, then they're there.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think it would. It's not very likely that they would have stuck around that long because the knight would have wanted to go back without being too meta. You know, to at least like be like, hey, I have somebody that's depending on me, but also thinking that you guys haven't returned, and go figure 5 days that she has to let the prince know. Okay.
And no, that's no problem. If she left, she left. I at least wanted to check.
Okay. So you have at this point, you know, even with it still takes some time to search, right? So you've kind of moved over to Nusha. You've been doing all this searching around. You do notice there's still like a shitload of like snakes that have inhabited this, and you still see a couple of Yuan-Ti pilfering through the ruins.
Hmm.
They don't seem to be like really on the lookout for like intruders, if you will. They're just kind of like picking through and like seeing if there's anything worth salvaging.
Okay. How many you want to?
It's a whole town. You see a couple as you're going through.
Only see a couple of UNT as I go through.
Yeah, it's not like a whole swath of them or anything. It's just like you see every now and again because you're searching around and you're trying to be sneaky and stealthy, and you'll see like one that's picking, like preoccupied, just like digging through rubble, or you know, coming out of a house with an armful of goods.
Are these the warrior UNT that I notice, or do they look like the agricultural workers that I've noticed before?
Go ahead and make like just make like an insight check.
Okay.
But they are weaponed, and you do see a couple of them that are like smaller, like we talked about before, right?
Right.
But you also
Insight.
see that you see that quite a few of them are armored in one way or another, armed in one way or another. So they all appear to, you know, like, again, you don't have super good insight into their culture, but they seem to be trained in one form or another with weapons, right? Given that they're carrying them, but their main focus seems to be pilfering what is left of Nusha. And you don't see any shamans, but you do see a couple of warriors, you do see a couple of archers, and then you also see some that are like adolescent as well.
Okay. I'm not gonna kill them right now. I could probably kill them all. I got what I came for. So I see them. The 9th and the people are gone. Okay, that's good. Okay. I'll make my way back to my exit.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. As you begin to make your way, right? You're kind of like trying to make your way. Now you're going back to the tunnel exit to try and get back. You notice a couple of Yuan-Ti, they stand up, and one of them drops what they're holding and kind of like runs in a direction, not towards you. You're like, oh, and you kind of follow, and coming into Nusha, you see a handful of goods, like carts that are filled with goods that are accompanied by, obviously beasts of burden and several Yuan-Ti that appear to be armed. With that, you see one of them is like a shaman. A couple of them are like, the warriors. You see an archer. And as some of these Yuan-Ti begin to run towards this, you see this one slightly taller humanoid figure, jet black and covered in what looks to be like sleek scale, reptilian face. And
why would you do this, Dylan? Why would you do this to me?
I didn't do this.
Why would you do this to me?
I gave you a cinematic. You knew he was on the way, even though you didn't know he was on the way. But anyway.
You know what I wanted to do. Okay, fine, okay.
The Koopa Troopa.
So, anyway, he appears to walk more like a man than a snake. He doesn't have the snake lower half. He's like a humanoid, but he doesn't have any clothing on. He's just looks like like a Barbie doll almost, right?
Oh.
Like everything is like just rounded over. It's kind of like that. Like it's just like it's almost like he's wearing armor because it's so slick.
Prim and plastic. It's fantastic. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And
Alright.
yeah, so they begin to run over to him and like flock, and you see like he kind of looks like he's pissed off, right? He has like this stance about him that's like very aggressive, and everybody's like kind of falling in line. One of these adolescents kind of comes up to him, and he like you can see like he just kind of like plows like a guy to the side, like he like shoulder checks him, and then this kid comes and he like just like puts his hand on the kid's head, and as he like just continues walking forward towards the ruins of Nusha. And then kind of you can't really make it out, but you see his mouth move in like this weird kind of, he must be using whatever their guttural tongue is, and he's just kind of like, again, in this aggressive stance, like heading towards the ruins of Nusha.
I need to take this shot. Fuck.
He's at this point. He's probably about as this is going on. You kind of ducked about behind a building. He's probably like 400 or 500 feet away from you. He's not dashing. This isn't like battle terms. You could try and get closer if you wanted to, but he's about like 400 or 500 feet away from you.
You know what? Nah, he's coming to the tunnels. It's fine. I will let him live. Wait, alright, so does he seem like he's kind of moving by himself towards the ruins, or is the supply train that he came in with, are they moving with him too, or do they seem like they're standing there, or are they going in their own direction?
They're kind of falling behind him, but at a slower pace because they have to move all these goods.
Okay,
so like he like cut across, like he's going in that direction towards the ruins of Nusha, but they still have to like, because go figure, they're carrying like heavy carts and whatnot. They're still trying to take like the paths, the roads in Nusha to guide some of these goods.
How many UNT bot did he have with him?
He has an entourage. He has a shaman, 2 warriors, and an archer that are with him.
Shaman,
And-
2 warriors, and an archer.
And many of them, out of those, none of them follow him. They're all accompanying the goods. So he kind of splits off from them after he like puts you see his mouth move like he's mentioned something, and then he begins to make way towards the ruins, the direction of the ruins.
Kind of by himself.
Yes.
Why do you do this to me, Dylan? Why do you know how to tip me just right?
So you see as they're still leading these carts kind of like further into Nusha, into like the main road of Nusha to kind of like come around the bend, and you see him kind of walk off by himself. Again,
I'm
in the somewhat of the same direction as the end goal, but like, the carts are taking a roundabout way. He's just cutting through the swamp.
I'm gonna have to follow. I have to.
Okay.
Just still stealth. I'm gonna kind of try to go in a way to cut across and cut them off and come at them from the side, if that makes sense.
Okay. So I am on here. ER. So hold on 1 second, bud. So
No
first
problem.
things first.
If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be in an epic 1v1 with the BBEG. Sorry.
Okay.
That's-
So we're gonna say that even combined. That's good. So go ahead and roll another stealth roll.
All right. Even worse. Jesus.
All right. So
Should I wild shape?
all right. So as you kind of come around the side, yeah, that's what I thought. So no problem in terms of you're bypassing everybody else. Their passive perception is fairly low, but his is a little higher. So
Gotcha.
you make your way past and you begin to go out and around the side. You're trying to figure like when is a good time. You wait till he separates a little bit, right? Because if you think, right, this is you're on a map, right? It's hexes. And
Yeah.
So this is like a some distance. So you wait until he's kind of out of earshot, and you begin following him when you like your foot kind of like just right like, and it doesn't make a lot of noise. It's just like a little bit in the muck. You're kind of like you stop, and in that moment you see his form kind of like going, and he stops. He doesn't turn to you. And he kind of like, you see, when like people are kind of like looking from behind but without actually turning back. And looking in your direction. He hasn't actually like, it's not like he's looking directly at you. He just knows something's there. And he repeats that same thing.
I'm going to wild shape into a giant elk.
Okay.
In this sense, not just try to sneakily do it. Not necessarily, but essentially just try to seem like I'm just an animal in the woods. That's what he heard. So wild shape into an elk and kind of make myself visible, but not no intent of like actual attack. Like I just kind of come into view and start munching on like some grass or something, as if I didn't notice him. This was just an animal that he heard.
All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
A persuasion check. Okay.
No, it'd be like a deception check, I guess.
I'll take the persuasion.
Or performance.
I'll take
Performance.
I'll take the persuasion.
Yeah, something. And any of that is fine. It's all fine. And in that, he does begin walking towards the elk.
Do I get advantage because I am an actual animal?
Sure.
All right.
It is easier
He's
to
still-
act
he's
like
still
an elk
wa-
when you
He's
are
still
an elk.
walking towards
Ooh.
the elk. So
Oh, that's fine. Let me know when it gets about 20 feet.
okay. So he's like slowly walking, and you can
Yeah.
see at his side he has this really large, like nasty-looking barbed spear, and he like
that's fine.
Stay away from that.
He's just in a very fluid motion. He kind of like he has it at the ready, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like he's just grabbing it like on the side, and
Rick,
he
I think I know what you're doing, and I love you.
he looks
He is a pet.
he looks you in the eyes, and because you're an animal, you can understand this. He like mutters something under his breath. Come, young one.
As if he's trying to get me to come closer.
Yes.
How far away is he?
He is approaching you, and we'll say he's like 30 feet, and he's still like approaching you.
Oh, 30 feet. Yeah. I immediately look up at him, and I give him just the
elk finger.
elk smile. Just a little elk smile. Little deviousness in the eyes. And I immediately charge. Use my actual skill charge.
Okay. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, because this is definitely not anyone taking anyone else by surprise. He definitely has a weapon at the ready.
yeah.
So, Yar, I guess. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me get
You
it.
got it, bro.
Get a thing. No, this isn't a forest.
It's a swamp.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to recycle this map again. What the hell? All right, you guys can watch.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after whatever the consequence of this is, after that, other things are happening with the other people. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, Dylan knew what he was doing when he dangled this in front of me. He knew what he was doing, damn it. You know I couldn't pass up this opportunity.
You are an elk, though. You could cover a lot of ground if you decide to fuck off.
Oh, yeah. Like, I have 60 feet of movement.
I
Good
want
luck.
that spear.
There's a ridiculous amount of movement.
Okay.
That spear sounds
So-
metal.
Go ahead
Yeah, it
and I gave you all the animals, right? You have giant elk.
Yeah, no, I have everything. Yeah, I have everything. So
Oh
it's
my
like-
god,
It's not just like an elk. This is like a giant
yeah,
fucking elk.
he is fucking he's literally giant. He's huge.
I did persuasion to see if, like, because he wasn't looking at you, if like he was gonna think something was fishy. So
No, it's no problem. Yeah, as long as he's in range, I'm charging his ass.
all right. So
He's an ugly one.
so yeah, he's whatever. He's 30 feet. Okay. Let's go ahead and oh no, it didn't save us 18.
Good.
That's fine.
No,
There we go.
just. Whoops! Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Sorry, I got stuck on my mouse. Hold on, I need to configure and configure this to where it's...
He is
Okay.
real ugly.
Yeah, he be.
He reminds me of
Yeah,
Snake Guy from Teen Wolf.
I don't watch Teen Wolf. I'm not trash.
I mean, you are. You just don't watch Teen Wolf.
I'm.
Okay.
What's an Ushalis?
Ushalis, the brood father.
I want a title.
I don't like
You-
that.
It's actually you, Ushalis.
Oh, it's a. Okay, yeah, Ushalis.
The Brood Father sounds skanky.
Skank.
You trample him, please.
Yeah, boo. So, you can see he pauses for a second as you begin to charge, and he like he takes like a stance, and he grabs his spear, and as you kind of like charge forward, you imagine this is kind of like happening at the same time. as he gathers his stuff. I have to get a sheet because I didn't think you were gonna, like battle him. So hold on.
Really? You didn't think that? Come on. Come on.
I thought you wanted to, but I didn't think you actually. So he's gonna go ahead and okay. He is going to move. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna move ahead 3, and he does he saves up for a second, and then he does a quick dash and he with what looks to be almost like supernatural speed, he lunges forward with the spear, and he does a leaping lunge, crossing the whole distance, almost like you're just getting in the charge, and he's already upon you.
Gotcha.
And he's gonna go ahead and do this. All right. So, so go ahead and make a DC 12 strength check or be knocked prone. So you take 21 piercing damage.
Yeah.
You're not knocked prone. Go figure. You're also a giant creature, so it's as the spear embeds, you're just able to keep it away from a vital area, but it sinks in, and as this nasty barbed spear comes out, and he with a sucking sound pulls it out, and there's just a as blood begins to roll down the fur of your elkin self, and then with that, he's gonna kind of use the momentum as he pulls the spear out. He's gonna kind of lunge forward a little bit, and his jaw kind of unhinges a bit as he takes a bite in the side of your neck.
Ew.
That one hits.
All right, so
I'm trying to say that is 28. So yeah, drop from my elk form.
okay. So as you, so you take what is it, left over 7 damage or something?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and then go ahead and make a DC Constitution saving throw. So as your form dissipates, but he's still bit into your neck, and you see he draws back a little bit, and he's he doesn't understand what just happened. He just saw this giant creature, and he's meat, and okay, so you take 7, and you are poisoned for 1 hour. So we know when he goes, so obviously you go after him. So
Gotcha.
he kind of in that second after he bites you, he withdraws, and he readies. He's what's going on here? And then it is your go.
No problem. So I immediately cast on myself.
Okay.
So get rid of that, and then
Absolutely.
bonus action transform again.
Make sure to take your 7 damage in that form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, hold on, let me. Yeah, second. There we go. Actually, let me see. Let me see. I did that as an action. Oh. Come on, I need to read this. Yeah, gonna transform again.
Okay.
This
You
time,
transform again.
back
Boom.
into the constrictor snake.
All right.
As I just flash into my human self and then swirl back up into my constrictor form. And that's it.
Okay. So he's gonna go ahead and use his legendary action to disengage. So he backs up 15 feet. It's like he like kind of does a slash with his spear as he like jumps back at the same time, and he like readies himself again. He kind of, we'll say because he has a lot of movement anyway, he just kind of like circles around again, like now this giant constrictor snake, kind of like, you know, you guys are in a you're in a dance, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to go ahead and do the same thing. He's going to go ahead and run forward and use his lunge attack to essentially attempt to stab you. Stabby stab. So as he lunges in,
Yep, that is. A lot more health now, though, bitch.
right under the jaw. He's like trying to get you so you like, you know, can't bite him. He's trying to get you in a weird spot. Okay, so you're definitely not prone, but he kind of gets that. As you can imagine, you guys are like wrestling at this point. He's kind of stabbed into you, and you're trying to like whip your head around and bite him. And he's gonna go ahead and he's probably not gonna bite you, considering you are now a snake. So he'll go ahead and he'll withdraw the spear, and on like the way down to the ground, he's gonna kind of like try and like more of a slash than a pierce with it.
Hits.
All right. So that's a total of 30 piercing damage. And then it's your go.
Alright. Going to... constrict him.
Okay. As you attempt to constrict him, 13. So he kind of using his spear, like he has very quick reflexes. He ducks slow, and then he like uses his spear as leverage to kind of like deflect your tail as you attempt to grasp him. And he circles around you in this dance.
Alright.
He's gonna go ahead and he's just gonna go ahead because he's face to face with you now. At this point, he's just gonna take 2 lunges with the spear, like oh, yo.
Yep, those will fit.
Okay.
Still a snake.
Okay. And that's his go.
Oh, wait. I have a bonus. I had a bonus action, sorry.
Okay. What's your bonus
Bonus.
action?
I can use a spell slot to heal.
That's fine. That's fine if you want to recon it. Use that.
See.
So, yeah, so you
So let's
heal
see.
your stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what, 3? I can't remember how that appears.
Third. That's one. That's my one third level spell slot.
1/3 level spell slot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1d8 per spell level, so I'm using a third level spell slot for that. So yeah. There we go.
So you're 30, then you recover 14, that's 44, and then you take
And subtract
27 from 44.
Why are my tokens working? There we go.
Sorry, I got you, Boo.
There it is.
And then minus 27.
Got it. Okay.
All right, and then he's
So,
going
yeah.
to. Yeah, no, because that was his turn. So okay, it's your.
Yeah. So
That's your
it's
turn.
my go on this one.
Yep.
All right. Try to constrict them again. Come here, guy. There we go. 25.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so.
And is restrained.
Okay, so as you squeeze him like the spear, he's like trying to fight it, and it's restrained, and you can't constrict another thing. And I can't remember. Makoso, rules guy. What is restrained?
Hi. Restrained creatures. I'll just copy paste it.
This guy.
Okay. Blah blah blah. So he does make attacks. They're just at disadvantage. Okay.
Can't move.
And when you attack
disadvantage.
him, you have advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So given that, so at the end of your construction, he's going to use his legendary action to just make a regular attack. Of course, it's at disadvantage with the spear.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of seeing how, like, you're at this point, like, you're oozing blood, you're still holding tight, right? He's going to attempt to, I think he's just going to go ahead and take 2 spear attacks with disadvantage. He's just going to take the disadvantage.
Now they all hit.
Okay.
Carry that over. Hold on, I'm doing the math.
All right. So you have 6, right? So that's 16, and 16 is 32 minus 6. So 32 minus 6 is 26.
Yep.
So you take 26 to your form, your other form. After this kind of like poof, dissipates. All right. So as you you're both next to him, and
Wait.
he kind of like as he breaks out of this restraint, as again like the form just into like dust and left behind, is like you kind of like on one knee, you're like getting back up. And as you're kind of looking at him face to face, he's ready, and he just has like these piercing, like yellowish, kind of like jaundiced looking eyes, like a snake. Besides like the mouth and the eyes, he looks almost completely like humanoid.
Is it my turn now?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
he made his attacks.
Sweet. Like I'm nice. You're pretty strong. As I to counter animals. Let's see.
Jesus, dude, you're gonna use every spell slot before you run away, aren't you?
Run away. This is the thing right here, buddy.
Yeah.
The side mission.
All
And
right,
you're doing
so
a boss fight by yourself.
there's,
Circle of the Moon Druids are strong, but not that strong.
So sorry. You get those, right? So two snakes, a lizard, and a frog.
Correct. Giant frog, yeah. Giant poisonous snake, giant lizard, giant poisonous snake.
All right.
So I drop
Awesome.
one there, 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 and there.
So just give me a second. I gotta do the thing. So giant frog.
Yep.
And remember, you could. No, wait, you don't have healing
Wait.
word, right?
Whoa, whoa,
You're a
whoa.
druid.
Yeah. Hold on. Got this.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on one second.
What?
No, why would it? That doesn't make any sense. So I had my guy open, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had used Chalice's character sheet open, and it somehow, for some reason, imported Giant Frog, even though, like, you can drag and drop and do that, but, like, that doesn't...
It turned his whole sheet into giant frog.
I'm, like, so pissed right now.
Oof.
There's so much, like, verbiage and shit that just got lost. Trying to think if I can revert that.
I may alert myself. Bonus action.
Wow. I'm kind of like really pissed right now. Okay, anyway, so giant frog. Giant lizard. Yeah, and then, sorry, what is it? Giant poisonous snake times 2?
Two giant poisonous snakes, yeah. Just give me control and I set them where I want them.
Alright, snakes. Lizard.
Frog.
Oh, I'm so butthurt right now. 'Cause that was like so much like typing in words and stuff, and I have no idea why I did it. Because I didn't drag it, I just clicked on giant frog, and it like,
Imported
like it just power fucked it. Like that was it. Like there's no like going back. It just did it.
Fucking roll 20, man.
Doesn't make sense, but I do know. Hold on, so we did 18 damage to him. So there's that. And then that's his AC. Okay. I know how much health and stuff he has, but let's see.
Oh, their names are getting in the way. Fucking. That's right.
Okay, so we'll say the things all go on your turn because I don't want to roll everything. So can they go immediately? Yeah, we'll say sure. Yes, they can go immediately. So they can all take their stuff right now as you cast that.
Cool. I'll have the. Let's see. Snakes can go first. It's just 2 bites on their part. That's for both the snakes. I'm assuming it has flanking.
Yep.
Okay.
So they all get +2. Yeah. Just 1 second.
No problem.
Luckily I save a lot of this stuff, so. Oh, this was before I did his other ability. Is good. Just give me 1 second, bud.
No. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
I have a data dump game where where I keep all the things and stuff.
Yeah, you stick all your stuff and then you archive it and bring it over.
Yeah, so there's only one thing that's not in here. Oh, that is. That's fine. I don't think he's going to use the other things that I have. The thing that I'm missing, I have a feeling he will not use. So, I think I have time. Anyway, a moment.
I have a feeling you mean direct control of the bad guy? Because
All right. Cool. Cool beans.
That was Kate Mulgrew. I knew she looked familiar.
Yay. Okay. Cool. Things and stuff.
Holy shit, she plays red on Wonders.
Okay. So. Good. So bite. These all have flank in the elf plus 2. So they all hit.
Okay.
Or take half as much poison. Right. So he takes 8. Okay, and then he takes another bite. That misses.
Oh, it doesn't say that. 13, 14, 15. Doesn't. 14, 15, 16.
So giant lizard.
Giant lizard, that's right.
So the first poisonous snake hits, and this lizard also hits. All right. Sweet. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and say, so at the end of your turn, I'm saying like at the end of the creature's turn, that's all your turn. Just to make it simple. At the end of that, he's gonna go ahead and use his legendary action to make an attack. And he's gonna go ahead and okay, do that. He's just gonna go ahead and make a regular spear attack at you. There we go. Nice.
Card?
Yeah, doesn't he get a critical failure card?
Yep.
First time you get to see this work.
You've got a +8 to hit.
Oh yeah. I gotta just do it to myself. There we go.
I mean, to be fair, I've got a +6 to hit. Not that impressive.
Alright. Boom. Okay, so he takes a 1d6 penalty to his next attack.
Ooh,
Why?
because he sucks.
Oh,
But why?
so he pulled a muscle. So as he kind of like goes to do this, he's overextended as all these people are kind of attacking him at once. And in that, he kind of like shifts out and goes too strong, and you can see he's like limping a little bit as he draws back.
He went too hard.
And so with that, so then on his turn, he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna take a bite attack at you first. So that's obviously not gonna hit. A 10 and then minus 1d6. Definitely not gonna hit you. And then he's gonna go ahead and spear. All right. So for 9.
Okay, I'm actually
Is
still
he
fine.
restrained?
No, not at this point. He's not.
Damn.
So, okay. So go ahead and just roll a concentration check. And then
Gotcha.
it's your go.
1 second, let me. Okay. Go for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Woof.
Woof indeed.
I think I'm good. Alright. So, let's see. What is the weapon he's holding? What is it?
it's a spear.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
right now.
like that, the material it's made of.
It appears to be a, like, very... I'm trying to think of how to put it.
Can he heat metal it?
It's
That's-
like the shaft. It's like a spear, right? It's got like a wooden shaft, and then like there's like a metal barb on one end, which is kind of like the butt end, and then there's the other tip of it is also hot, but like in between it is wood.
Is there enough metal to be applicable, though?
Nah, doesn't matter. I'm going to use...
Dylan, how would you feel if
Right,
if Rick 1v1 your boss?
You can try.
And how
mean,
would you
it's
feel
like-
if he
I
won?
would be, I would be
I
really,
am
really
trying.
surprised. Like, if he
trying.
1v1'd.
How's he doing so far?
Let's see. I'm going.
Looks like he's 5v1.
Well, that's true, but the other ones aren't people; they're just random animals.
But if they deal damage, good enough.
Animals are people too. I don't want to hear your discrimination.
And I'm just saying, how's he doing so far? He's done what, like 40 damage.
I'm going to. Let's use some cantrips here. How about that?
How about
I want to move, but I don't think I can.
You could disengage as an action.
Oh, I can I? Can I? Alright, yeah, I'll do that. Action to disengage.
Then step back, surround them with the animals,
Hush now.
or as best you
I'm
can.
gonna step back a little bit. Bonus action. Healing spirit.
Ooh. Rick knows his shit, man. I'm kind of scared to have him in my game playing a wizard.
Yeah, no, this is cool.
My party's already good enough at destroying everything that I create, so
You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it 3rd level. Alright.
you're out of beast shapes, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm beast shaped out.
Aw.
I don't know what that does. What heals.
So
it essentially
heals
creates an
every
area.
round.
It essentially creates an area where if he walks through it, he keeps healing.
or sits in
it-
it?
Yeah, if you're in that area, every turn it heals you essentially 2d6.
Okay.
Yeah, healing spirit's fucking crazy.
Notorious for out of combat.
Yeah, it's really good out of combat. So I'm gonna do that, and then that'll keep me alive, and then I'll let my snakes see.
Snooks.
There, you're good there. Now do the frog there. Yeah. This'll work. All right. Let the snakes go first.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah. 5.
If you get them to flank, then oh wait, one of them is flanking.
As
They are all considered flanking right now. Once
Okay.
it's active, it's active.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll them all.
Okay. Yeah.
Kyle, if you're watching the stream, how do you feel about Rick's play of Druid? This is just fucking nuts.
Oh, that was all 4. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's everything. Yeah, everybody's hit. Or everybody's done their thing.
Cool. All right.
Frankly, I'm surprised I haven't died yet.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So he's gonna go ahead and attack one of these giant poisonous snakes just with a regular spear attack as a legendary action. Do 9 to it. And then he's gonna go ahead and
Which one did he hit?
this one that's in front of him.
Gotcha. Surprisingly enough, still up.
Yeah. So he's gonna go ahead and yeah. So succulent. Yeah, you know what? He's gonna go ahead and take another swipe at that one, and then he's gonna bite giant lizard.
Mhm.
So he's gonna go ahead and spear on the poison snake, which is enough to kill it. Yes.
Yeah,
And he's gonna go ahead and bite giant lizard, which is
right there.
Yeah, he did. So as he kind of wipes out those two.
Might be called lightning time.
No, it's not.
Do you have that?
So he's gonna go ahead and take the. Yeah, he'll take the attacks of opportunity. He's gonna run and jump up onto this rock. He's like perching and he's like looking at you like the spear drawn. Nice. 10 out of 5. And with that, it kind of says in your tongue, I will feed you to the brood.
I saw those fat bitches. They don't need to eat anything else.
And he's just like,
Equipment. Equipment till I die. Alright.
Bully.
Hey, you didn't see the brood. They're a bunch of fat bitches. Just saying.
That's generally how broods
We're-
work.
We don't fat
Primarily
shame
why I
here.
didn't go down there.
You haven't seen them. They are. Tell them, Dylan.
hey, they haven't seen it.
Alright.
All right, it's it's your go. He did his stuff.
Yeah. So I guess I'll move them up. And let's see. Oh, my healing spirit will heal.
Is it still 2d6? Because it's third level?
Yeah.
That's how it works? That's cool. I would say just roll it. Slash roll. Ooh.
Is it anybody that's in that region, or it's only friendlies?
Only friendlies.
Okay.
It doesn't.
I was just
That's
making sure.
good.
Doesn't.
This is
I
the boss.
didn't know. I
The
didn't
boss
think
healed
it would
himself.
do that, but I was just like, hey,
Just want to be
does it?
sure.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Frighten hurts everybody. Friendlies as well. So, I gotcha. So there's that. Let me see. Which that's closer. Why did you get in front of me? Let's see. Alright, I guess I'll just do this. Why didn't you show the spell? Essentially, bonus action Flame Blade. And I guess I'll try to hit him with.
Okay. And then you hit him with your. It's just. Oh yeah. Okay, flame blade. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were like setting your weapon on fire for a second. I'm like, wait. And then,
No.
Okay. No, flame blade. Okay, and a 17 just hits. Okay.
Alright. Alright. You guys hit him too.
Okay. So I'll let these guys get the attacks off. So I'm surprised the ability that I didn't think he was going to use, you have cause to trigger. So you'll see what that is. So as these, as your summoned minions go to attack, Chalice kind of like, he stumbles a bit on the rock, and as you see like this weird kind of mirage effect around him, and there's like this, and with that, all magical effects, friendly or otherwise, are dispelled within 100 feet of him. As you see like this energy kind of channel into his being, and he sends out this shockwave from his body. Immediately upon, like, it seems like he's taken a certain amount of damage. So your summoned creatures just like fade from existence. The flame blade kind of, and the healing
Spirit, yeah.
spirit just kind of like poofs out of the way. All creatures within 10 feet of him, which is also you, take 1d4 force damage per thing dispelled that way. So 3d4.
Oh, that's a dick move.
And you are pushed back 10 feet.
Oh, that I'm okay with. Okay.
So as you kind of, it's kind of actually cool that it's like right against the rock. So as you kind of like hit against the rock, and you're like, ugh. And this
Could
is
actually be kind of beneficial.
this is just
being
like
10 feet away.
this is like an instantaneous thing that happens. And at that, you can see at this point he's taken a bit of damage. He's like, and with that, he's gonna go ahead and on his turn, he's going to lunge forward with his spear.
That wasn't his turn? Jesus.
No, that was just, it was an instantaneous effect that happened. And meta-wise, as soon as he dropped below 50% health.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm proud of myself.
Okay.
As that definitely
So,
takes me out.
as the last thing you see is this, as he, with supernatural speed, jumps off this rock, you see the rock kind of like, and it like comes out a little bit, and as you look down and see the spear is sunken all the way down to his fist through you and into the rock, and you kind of look up as his maw begins to like come down on your clavicle and the world goes black.
Before I go, son of a bitch. It looks as if you're not as invincible as your people think. Long live father, yes?
Quip until the end.
Quip until the fucking end.
Quip until the end. Okay.
A tear to my eye.
It's sad
How
about
do I
It's
say
sad
goodbye
that. Okay, and with that,
to what we you? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, with that, you kind of grasp forward on the shaft of this, and a smile comes over your face as you slowly grow colder, and the world goes black. And I think with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and take a break. So,
Yes, please.
yeah, let's go ahead and take a like a 15-minute break, and then we'll meet back.
Bada boom.
All right.
I
Is the
like
stream
that
paused?
guy too.
It's the screen paused.
The stream is live.
Oh.
Why?
Why? The stream's always live during intermission.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Okay, we're not on. It's the pause screen is on. Gotcha. The whatchamacallit screen. Sweet.
Friggin'
Well, that was
Yeah.
intense.
I know, right? Hey,
You
I
did.
got him below 50% of his health, 1v1. Not fucking bad, guys.
It's not bad. You
Sorry.
did a pretty good job. Don't
Not
say
only that-
sorry. That's not your fault.
But he is
I
now
feel bad.
he's now hurt. He's now hurt, guys. So,
And then, he takes a long rest and he's back to 100% health and nothing
Well,
happens.
well, don't let him take a long rest.
If
Well,
we
how are we
don't,
supposed to stop that?
we
I
don't
I don't fucking know. He's on his way to you. Do something.
we don't know that you're dead, so we're gonna be waiting for you because you're the one
No.
who has a plan.
No,
As far as we know.
as far as you know, I just disappeared. So I would not advise. I can't advise anything.
True.
Well, yes, but the thing is, we don't know that.
All right, so you are very certainly welcome to stick around for the rest of the session, though you
What? No.
are. Edmund is not around, so
Sad.
depending on how things go, maybe I'll have you run either some bad guys or some good guys or whatever, depending on what happens in the rest of the session. So I'm gonna go ahead.
You're not gonna put me to work the rest of the session. Fuck that.
All right, or you can just skedaddle. That's fine. It's totally your choice. Whichever you.
No.
Whatever you would like.
Was that the play? Were you just trying to get out?
Hey, when you want to roll a new character, you do what you got to do. Okay. Don't.
You rolling a new character?
No. This is it, guys. You guys are getting a new person coming in after me. So let's get with you guys. So it was fun. It was good. No, I'm kidding, because it's all seemed got tension here. No.
Yeah, we enjoy playing.
But I'm just saying, like, as much as I would love to metagame and just be like, Edmund's dead, let's break out and murder everything.
What? No.
We don't know that he's dead.
You do not, and you honestly probably never will.
But that's the thing, though, was we're gonna be waiting, and we're gonna waste our own time.
Anything.
Very much obvious. I very much advise not waiting.
Well, the thing is we were hoping you had a plan. Like, at least our tour was hoping you had a plan.
Edmund definitely did not have a plan.
Well, you had magic, so you were more qualified to have a plan than he was.
Our plan's just gonna be friggin' to get everyone mad and trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
It's just that now we have
pretty
one
much.
significantly strong person that we're out.
Yeah,
We'll have to be creative.
yeah. Gotta figure this shit out now.
Yeah, and it's gonna involve dying.
Oh, at this point, Father, I have will have to join the fight, or he will not. So you won't have to worry about that.
I moved you to another channel. It's just you and I.
Was that? I'm gonna say, was that
just
what?
now? Like it was like just as you're like,
Oh.
and then the father. Like,
I'll say, was that just talking to myself?
no,
Okay.
So you're not conscious, but I'm trying to think if there's like another way you can roll without people seeing. Hold on. Oh, you can do a GM roll. You can do /GM roll 1d20. Just do death saves to see if you stabilize or not.
Wait. GM.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be dead without metagaming, but he's not gonna like keep like aggressively stabbing you. You know, he's just gonna do his business. He's gonna withdraw, and then he's gonna drag your body back to the brood. Because they waste not.
Waste not, want not. Wait. Sorry. To the.
So yeah, so it should be /GM roll and then
/WGM roll. What am I rolling?
1d20, right? Because that's a death save.
No. Wait. Hold on.
Because you never know. You might get like a 20 or something. Like, it's not looking good for you, but, you know. Nice. Okay.
Gotta be fucking kidding me.
You're still... So... Yeah, that was definitely like a critical fucking kill you blow. So you're like, however you want to play it, but he is literally dragging you by the foot, and he's bringing you back. because you're you're like the luckiest bastard. Like, it's so funny.
Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that.
No,
That was definitely like
You were totally dead, but it was just like the
Yeah.
very slim chance of like if they attacked, if things played out just right and you hadn't gotten thrown into literally a fucking pit of snakes to be
Mhm.
eaten, then you might have survived. Probably not have been a part of the combat, but you might have survived by like, slim odds. But so
right.
we'll
Fucking-
say this.
And that's on a straight 20. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Roll 20 loves me, I guess. I
Yep.
fucking hate it, but
Yeah,
it loves
dude.
me.
but that's fine. No, I'm totally okay with that. So that's fine. So you are kind of, we'll say you're still kind of like bleeding out because like
Mhm.
you can't like not bleed out, but you are conscious, and he hasn't realized that you're conscious yet. He's literally dragging you by the foot.
Mhm.
So how do you wish to play that?
Shit, how can I play that? Let's see.
Why don't you whisper me via text, and if we have any more rolls, you can just whisper them to me like this, and we'll go back and forth, just so that way we don't hold up any more of other people doing other stuff.
No, I definitely got you. I don't know. Maybe I can just distract him with like a fairy fire or something. Okay.
So yeah, kudos to you, you lucky bastard. Because if you think about it, he killed you with his lunge, and then he bit,
Mhm.
so you had 2 failed death saving throws.
And
So
then the nat 20 technically
and then
brought
the
me
nat-
up.
yes,
Jesus.
but thematically, I'm just saying, and like you know what? I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, so people know I'm not fucking around.
Right. the pure D fucking luck.
So yeah.
All right.
So
I'm
if
sure
if you're
I'll s-
trying to kill Edmund, then
No. The fact that Edmund himself just wants to hold on to that last vestige of life, not for the first time, mind you.
like that stone, like that was just so, it's like so fitting. Like I want it to be dramatic, and I don't want you guys to die. That's why when you pretty much decide to 1v1 the boss, I'm like, what are you doing? Like this is like
Honestly-
an a level appropriate boss. This is not the Lady of the
Yeah.
Wood.
It is not, but the chance was there. Everything was calling and saying, hit this fucking guy. Honestly, I think if I had, where I messed up at is I didn't use my 3rd level spells before I wild shaped. I should have either called lightning or conjured animals before I wild shaped, is where I always mess up when I play a druid. I forget to cast a spell before I do my wild shape. It's kind of the biggest point of doing it, being able to hold a spell while you wild shape. And I always forget to fucking do that. So that was definitely on me, but I'm absolutely 100% surprised I got him as low as I did.
Oh, me too.
Even with that, just by myself, that was fucking redonkulous. I didn't even expect to like hit him once. Just gonna
Oh.
throw that out there.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
no, it was a lot of good rolls. Like there was flanking and
Mhm.
stuff. Like he attacked the animals because he's like just animals showing up. Like he didn't understand. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like it was good, but it's kind of one of those things like you know about him now and he knows about you.
Yeah.
And so like his tactics next time will be different. And blah
Oh,
blah
yeah.
blah. And if there's a next time, we'll see. I don't even know, but that
Yeah.
was like honestly like all you need to do is fail one and you're dead. So that like to me is fucking I can't. That's amazing. So all right,
Very crazy.
we're going back to the other
Okay.
thing, but if depending on what you want to do, you just let me know.
I may use like Druidcraft to maybe make some distractions as I try to slink away.
Well,
We'll see
Depends
later. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see
yeah.
later once.
Yeah, because he's literally held onto your foot and he's dragging you through.
Yeah.
He kind of drags you down into one of these tunnels and begins making his way through these
Yeah.
tunnels. You're kind of it's like wet. You kind of like have to like silently gasp for air, like to the side when you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough going, but anyway.
I can actually ritual cast something. Actually, okay. You know what? I got something. You go ahead and do your thing, and I'm gonna work on this while we're doing that.
Well, what I'm gonna say though is like can't really cast a ritual while you're being dragged like that. You know what I mean?
Oh no, not right now. But no, we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead and go back, and I'll read over stuff.
Okay. Fine.
I'll
10-4.
let you know.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
All right.
Alrighty.
Also, I may need another character sheet just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't have a new character today, but yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens. So, all right, we're going back to the other channel.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
So,
How do I? Sorry.
you guys, yeah, Edmund hasn't showed up in a while.
Yeah, and
Kidding.
as not very smart, not particularly persuasive people, me and Makoso have kind of agreed that if he does not show up for another day, like from the point that we last left off on, we're essentially going to tell everyone we're putting things into action now. We're going to try and get Jasmine to help us get out of ourselves, and if she doesn't, then we're going to try and find some way to do it ourselves. And we're going to go into action. Essentially break out as many people as possible and start a riot.
Okay. All right, 10-4. So that's the loose plan. You guys are passing, orders and plans back and forth, and yeah.
Essentially, if we don't see him within the next day, we're opening as many cells as possible and seeing what the fuck happens.
Okay.
Starting with our own, hopefully.
So let me put some ambiance here. So you're waiting another day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the okay.
Which meta game wise is kind of a bad idea because he gets a long rest if he's still there, but we don't know any
We
better.
don't actually know how long a day is.
That's
Right.
true.
Does
We
that
also don't. We
fight
don't know
count?
when or what happened to Edmund.
So it's
Happened.
roughly like another couple labor shifts,
Yeah.
just roundabout. So okay, so you're doing over these next couple of labor shifts. What are you guys specifically doing?
We're essentially
Round up the usual suspects.
yeah, all the people that we have contact with, and essentially saying, I'll try to do this in Artor's voice to the best of my understanding of what that sounds like. We're going to try and get ourselves out, open ourselves, lockpicks or otherwise, and get ourselves out. Me and Makoso here, and hopefully the woman who wanders, if she's around, and we're going to open up other people's cells, convince them to come with us, come out. They can get cells open by themselves if they have the tools or the strength. And we're going to build up an army. We're going to start a riot big enough that they can't contain it.
Okay. I see.
Open every cell we find.
So that is the plan then. Open every cell we find. And then where?
It's
Where do
simple.
we meet? Where are our tools? Weapons?
I mean, the tools we could try and gather some during the labor shifts. Hide them, use them as makeshift weapons. Various pieces of rubble and stuff could also be used as a weapon for people of good enough physical body.
The lady. She
She
kind
could
of
help.
He gestures to some of the cages that have like rocks in them. He picks up a rock of his own. She's done some of that, but
And honestly,
Others
we're
trust-
relying
others have
we're
tried.
relying more on the numbers than the equipment.
I see. Others have tried to sneak equipment, and they've paid the price. I recommend perhaps a different route. Less.
I mean, there are. We have seen one room. Like I said, it's a room nearby. I don't know if this is Suman or Merman, but I'm assuming we've contacted both of them with kind of this information.
Yep.
We have seen one room nearby where our cells are, that has had equipment, or at least we've heard of it existing. We don't know how much is in there, but if there's other rooms like that, they could be good places to send our forces once we get people out. Pilfer as much equipment as possible, arm ourselves.
you're talking
shop.
about the one next door, chances are everything is long gone by now. When they take
Well,
the
the-
prisoners, they throw it in there, and then they bring it to wherever it is they bring it.
Well, I mean, if there's one room like that, there must be more, correct? Where would it be going otherwise?
Perhaps. I don't know.
And, just looking at the basic layout, there are many entrances and many exits. I'm certain we can make heads or tails of it once we actually are out of the cells. We're short-sighted right now, but it's a complicated layout, and they can't have everything guarded. There's a path of least resistance.
He nods.
There has to be.
The woman has been wandering.
She would
Would you
have more
rather-
information, yes.
Would you rather go with the most advantage possible? Or stay here until you die?
Personally, if I fall in this, then so be it. But I'm not going to stay here. I am not a slave, and I have people to protect.
He nods.
But I
Go ahead
but
and
I also
go ahead and make a persuasion check.
not great at that, but I'll give it a shot.
We'll
Yeah, your
say
circumstances
that-
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
work.
I was gonna say we can say you can have advantage too because
I'll
Makoto
roll
was
one more
kinda
time.
itching up.
Damn it.
Okay.
Alright.
Should have let me
It's
do
not
it.
bad. I should have, but you weren't really talking.
Artur was doing most of the talking, so it's kind of like him, and then when
We're planning on giving it a day. Well, as far as we can figure a day, a few more hours. And, well... I'm assuming this is gonna be Suman, so it's just
Yep.
like...
yeah, Suman is
Oh.
the one you have like the most access
Yeah.
to.
I mean, we're in the same room, so... You'll see us at your cell. I can probably get some of those doors down myself. My physique and my own powers, but it would be good if we can have that woman. She seems to have lockpicks. And some skill with that as well.
He nods.
It would be quieter, at the very least. Hopefully, if we can get a good enough idea of their schedule, we can try and understand when the snakes come into the room, when they barge in to take people. We could have everybody out before that happens. A big mob in the middle of the room. A couple of snakes walk in. They get surrounded. They get overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. There's 80 bodies running at them.
He nods. Okay. Tell Mermand.
And, Ramond is a man of, many talents, as far as I know. Man, capable of getting equipment around. Maybe he could supply us with something.
He has a few odds and ends, but not as much as we'd like. I think if we release the prisoners, head for the ruins, and take what we can, and then we fight for our damn lives.
I'm not anticipating a hostile takeover. This is an escape. We take out as many as we can and we take what we can, but if we try to take this whole place, we're gonna spread ourselves too thin.
We come back for vengeance.
We come back, hopefully with more men. We can see the prince again. That's what we were here for originally. The prince sent us in with a couple men-at-arms to take over, but we didn't. We were outnumbered. We didn't know what to expect. We figured that, we could formulate some kind of a plan from here, let ourselves get captured at that point. Which is honestly more hopeful than fighting a hopeless war on the surface. Get people out. Do something. It's like fighting a hydra. You kill one snake and 3 more come out.
Makoso looks around the workyard at the various people toiling away. We can't wait longer.
We can't.
We would have waited for our friend, but
We.
every day.
It's unlike him to be gone this long. I have a feeling something might have happened.
Regardless, every day that passes,
The people get
the
weaker,
urges-
and things get moved
urgency
around.
He thinks long, kind of, about this, and he kind of strokes his face.
Right now, we kind of have a handle on what's going on. Tomorrow it might not be like that.
He just kind of lets it be at that. He doesn't really have anything to say. He's just pondering.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jasmine, having a little bit more freedom, what are you doing in this time frame?
Hopefully finding us at some point. That's a conversation that needs to happen.
Yes. I just have one question before I go visit that particular cell. In that room that all the people are in pens or cages.
Yep.
Thick are those branches that they have basket weave together?
Yep.
Is that something you could cut through?
Or could it be ripped by
Torn?
someone with
It could-
enough?
Yeah, it could probably, with enough force, yeah, it could probably be, broken. It's definitely not as sturdy as the iron, bars that you guys have. But
Excellent.
it's fairly sturdy in its own right, but it can definitely be picked apart.
Like, a raging barbarian might make a dent.
It
Oh
might
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
even need
Like
to
if you
raise.
go like whole
There's
hog,
people on the
right?
inside. Push.
If you go whole hog on it and you're trying to break the structure enough and other people are helping, it's definitely doable. It's not going to be impossible. It's
Yeah.
just, for one lone person that's fearing for their life, step out of line and get killed, definitely not. But for
Okay.
a swarm of people fleeing for their lives or whatnot, sure, yeah, definitely doable.
But how many people are in those big long structures? A couple hundred.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So pick the lock into Suman's cell, the area.
Okay, go ahead, make
And-
a lockpick check.
Which is Sea Souls. Ooh.
Okay, no problem. You do
No
so.
problem. And she's going to start from the back of the cell and just start opening all of the cells.
Okay.
I'm
Authoritative voice.
assuming by this point we've had some kind of communication, which is why you're doing this.
No, she's taking
This-
initiative.
This is
Oh,
this
okay.
is the communication. You guys just had this conversation with Suman, and she barges in
Yeah.
and begins hurriedly unlocking all the padlocks.
Yeah. As she comes by me, I'm just like, we were actually going to talk to you and ask you to do this right now. We're essentially
Any
going to
time
start a
to talk.
riot.
We're going now.
Yes, we're
Save
going to
the
start a
day
riot.
goes by. I'm taking and getting out of this hellhole. You can come if you want.
At this point, as she's opening the door, I just try to raise my voice a little bit and just get Makosa's attention. Makoso, you might want to talk to some of these people. You're better with people than I am. Get them-
people
get-
are just sitting in the.
Yeah, it's just
They're just sitting, right?
get them moving. as many people as we can outside the cells. Group up.
Yeah, Makoso goes to someone that is sitting and holds them to their feet.
Make 7 more lockpick checks.
Ooh, yikes. So yeah, Makoso holds the closest person to him to their feet. Up. Stay and die, or be a man. Is there like a term for like the sentient beings in this world?
Aw.
Because it's not like all of humanity.
Mortals? I don't know.
Yeah, but mortals is anything that like
Yeah.
lives and dies.
Humanoids?
Like most of the time, wow, 888. Most of the time, it's just like like people, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like normally you're
Yeah.
talking about people, right? Like,
Yeah.
They do distinguish by
Like
race,
when you say,
but
"Oh, the humanity."
there isn't really a
Let's say, like, I know some settings use like kith and kin.
yeah, you could use something along those lines, yeah. But there's not really like a direct like here's the word like
Yeah,
the
because like
mortality instead of humanity. You know what I mean? There's not like a direct
Yeah.
like that.
So, what's the DC?
It takes no, it's fine. I was just looking to see if she rolled a 1 and broke it. It essentially
Okay.
she can make it on these. It's just how long does it take her to do it? So it does take her like a little while to fiddle with some of them because they're more rusty than others or they're in worse condition.
So yeah, so without like a nice blanket term, I don't want to discriminate. I'm not racist. What? Elves, dwarves, those are races.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's
Maybe we can worry about PC terms when we're not in the snake-filled hellhole.
hey.
I appreciate the thought, but let's go.
Just
So-
imagine we're having this conversation actually in the middle of the room.
Oh no! Like
I know.
I just like this is knowledge that I just assume
Yeah,
would be
I know.
in the world,
Yeah,
but it's
we don't know that though. We don't
Come-
live in this world.
stand, come. Today, we're kindred. Or stay, and be of the snakes.
And as he's saying this, Artur is just kind of getting up and just going, there are 100 more, hundreds more, like us in cells like this. We're going to get them out, and we're going to overwhelm them. There'll be too many. There's no way they could get us all. We'll get out. As many of us as possible. You're not slaves, you're just people. In the wrong place at the wrong time. But we have to try.
And at that, many of them begin to come to their feet, grabbing all these rocks and stuff that's been put in their
Oh, and
cell.
I definitely pick up a big ass rock.
Yeah, it's like like fist size rock. It's
Nice.
not like a big boulder, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
something that was small enough to fit through the bars, pretty much.
Mhm.
So as she works her magic to unlock this, you kind of have this empowering speech, and they all begin to rise. You see, like Suman, he like pulls out like this metal kind of shiv looking thing that was given to him by Jasmine, and yeah, they begin to kind of like fall in line. They begin to come out of their cells. The door to this room is still closed, but they begin to gather.
And at this point, Artur approaches Jasmine and just goes, now, I had 2 ideas for this. We rush out and we meet whatever might be in the halls, or we wait until somebody opens that door. We stampede them. Overwhelm them. so many bodies coming at them that they don't know what to do.
They'll be bringing back a soon, won't they?
I like the idea of taking a couple down. Suman kind of steps forward.
I agree. If they're bringing back some people to throw back in these cells, that's more bodies to our cause. So we can get the drop on them.
Okay.
In the door and shut it, so they can shut it when they come in.
Okay, one behind the door, and he points, and then he looks to his men, and then over to you guys. Perhaps we should sit in the cells, pretend that we are still locked up, and then we take.
That is clever, but how many are usually, like, I would know this, how many usually come into the room?
2. There's like 2. There's like.
Oh, okay. Then they can't control us.
Yeah, there's 2 for like this group, but usually, because you've seen it, there'll be like multiple sets of Yuan-Ti, and then they'll kind of splinter out, and they'll like herd the prisoners back to their cells.
Well, can I say something?
Yes.
So she's going to say loud enough so everyone can hear. If you can, get a hold of their horns. We don't need more trouble. Use the horns to call back and forth.
Yes, try to silence them. I mean, the objective is to slay them or knock them out, but if they seem to do anything that could be disruptive, cause any noise, get it away from them. Horns, they try to call, close their mouths.
Break them if you can.
But yes, sitting in the cells with, like, the doors looking closed is a good idea. Essentially, as soon as someone comes into view, you charge out, but the best objective is to get them off their feet. If some of you can group up and knock them down, it gives the opportunity for bigger people like me to finish them off. And it disorients them. They can't think. They're not on their feet anymore. Well, tail? Leg? I don't know. But yes, we need to surprise them, because we have the numbers on our side, but not by much. The more cells we get to, the stronger we are. He kind of looks to Jasmine for some sign of agreement.
The way to start. There are cells just across the way. We just need a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the plan.
The labor shift, it's going to be like a little bit. It's not instantaneous. So you got about an hour or so before probably the next change.
And everyone can rest and make sure they're at tip-top fighting.
Just try and make sure that everybody has, not everybody, but make sure the strongest people have some kind of weapon.
So what are you guys doing in this next hour specifically? So you're in you're in your room, right? All the doors are unlocked. Everybody's kind of like, okay, we got about an hour until the next shift turns over. Some of the people, like, they have the rocks, and they're like, they're trying not to make too much noise, but they're like slowly rubbing some of the rocks on the ground to try and, like, the ones that were a little splintered, trying to make them a little sharper.
That's smart.
People are doing what they can, but again, it's all very improvised.
I feel like kind of what me and Mikoso will do in the time we know what we have is just go around, and anybody who looks like they're not exactly glad about this, just try and cheer people up and get as many people on our side as possible. Anybody who seems like they're not ready, to give them a pep talk.
Okay.
Just like one of us makes a persuasion with advantage or something, which should hopefully even be Mikoso.
That's fine. We don't need to make any rolls for it. It's just you guys are going through and doing this, right?
Essentially just making sure everyone's prepared, and then when we feel like we're running out of time, get back to our cells.
Suman is kind
walk
of
on
also...
the door.
One person by the door.
Suman is also
Stealth
kind
is
of...
the best.
Suman's also kind of like raising people's spirits because he's kind of like jovial, speaking like, when we get out of here, I'm gonna owe you all a drink and like this and that. Like he's like kind of like telling stories, like very hopeful stories, like when we get out of here, like you'll all work for me and all the this and that. So a lot of the people, at least in his little corner of the woods, they're all kind of like smiling
And like after we do our pep talks, and I'll take a few minutes out. I kind of kneel down in my cell, place my hands against my head, and I'm going to put out a prayer to Thor to protect all of these mortals with me. I am his vanquisher, I am his vanguard here to protect. But I might need more help than he would usually give me this time around.
all right. So you guys have decided. I'm just trying to make sure the timeline is correct. You did not wait the extra day. It was just like he's still not here. We're just gonna do this.
It's essentially like we said we're gonna wait a couple hours, and then as soon as we have the opportunity, we're gonna get this all together. So it's been like a couple hours since we figured, let's stop waiting.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm just sad I didn't get to pick up my shield.
Say we're not going that way. Chill out. That's where all the weapons are. We just need more people.
All right.
Okay.
So, anything else? You guys got an hour.
Raising spirits and
By prayer.
praying.
I think I'll just watch the door and ready myself.
Okay. 10-4.
I think I'll take the post to shut the door because I can stay hidden better.
Okay. So about an hour later, you see everybody's kind of looking to each other, and they're like, you see they're sweating. They're like just waiting. It's that like very thick anticipation in the air as everybody kind of like waits with bated breath as the door kind of slams open, and two of these Yuan-Ti one of them goes in, and then there's like a bunch. So it's like one person in the front, one person in the back for Yuan-Ti, and then what's in the middle, right? So they go over and they go and they attempt to unlock the door as the people are kind of waiting.
Which cell? Like, is anybody important in that cell?
It is one of the back cells.
So we don't really know.
Stay all the way in.
So so at this point it's like right as the first one, he begins to fiddle with the lock, and he's like he's confused, like he's like, is this?
I'm in the fucking door.
Yeah, so you slam the door, and in that moment, as all these doors kind of run open, you see the eyes go wide on the Yuan-Ti as they're just like just sheer chaos as they just begin to jump all over these. They tackle them to the ground. The Yuan-Ti are kind of like writhing. They're surprised, and the other prisoners that they brought with them begin turning. They're like, they didn't know what was going on, so they're like, it takes them a second, and then they eventually kind of join in.
And I'm essentially just running out of my cell, looking for the first snake-like being that I can see, and just going straight to deck them in the face.
Yeah, you're in one of the back cells, so it's like that one that was kind of like surprised. A bunch of the prisoners kind of tackle him, and you get there at the same time, and you just begin like just bashing this guy's head in with this rock, essentially.
I love it. And I'm not raging, just to put it out there. There's enough people here that it's like, I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, the other one is a shaman, and the shaman kind of like turns around, doesn't even realize that Jasmine is there, goes to open the door as some of the other people kind of begin to like, you see Suman, go for the horn, and two of the men kind of jump forward and begin like just grasping at it. There's like these various pouches and like voodoo charms and whatnot that these shamans have. They're just grabbing at him, trying to like rip him off of its person.
If I'm right there, can I stab him like in the face?
Yep.
Ooh.
Go ahead. So describe your stab.
Okay. Yeah. As he turns around and realizes the door is shut, I'm going to take my regular dagger and just drive it right through the bottom of his chin. Like, I want to ruin the voice
jaw?
part of the snake.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you do so
Hold on.
as it kind of like, and he's trying to gasp out a breath. You don't actually have to roll an attack.
Yeah.
That's fine. This is all
Oh,
theater
okay.
of the mind.
Sorry. Well,
Although-
it worked.
Although technically, no, wait, no.
There are a lot of figures in here. These two are dead.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how are you guys describing how you take advantage of them?
And as Artor is beating this thing's head into a rock, the rock starts glowing a golden yellow. I'm not doing divine theory or anything, but like there is divine energy coming from Artor as he's protecting these people.
Yep. All right. So Jasmine, you kind of like, you stab him up into the chin with one of your daggers. As you see a bunch of these other prisoners, you see Suman with like his shank thing that he has. He comes up and just like stabs it in the side of the neck after you, and he just
Oof.
like he's like trying to essentially sumo wrestle. Like he stabs it in the side of the neck. He's like, and he's like he literally like suplexes it almost like he like brings it back. He actually also falls on his back, and then a bunch of these other prisoners just like rush over and like just like beating and bashing. So as you guys quickly kind of eviscerate this thing, everything begins to fall silent. You know, Jasmine, the other patrols are not that far away. They may or may not have heard that, you're not sure. But essentially what happens is they pass by this door, and when they get to this fork, right, like everybody's walking together, and then all the prisoners kind of go their separate ways. Yeah. So you have like a brief second, right, where everything is kind of quiet. You hear some
Okay.
of that guttural language coming from down the way, and there seems
I
to
find
be
a
some sort
whip?
of commotion. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we'll say that one of the shamans has a whip. Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna keep watching the door, and when they get... Like, if I see any other guards, their language...
Essentially,
and
we just
make
made
it
a hell
sound
of
like
a lot of
I'm-
noise, so
Essentially, hold on. She was talking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
fine. I'm essentially going to imitate a shaman party prisoners back in order. If I can imitate their guttural speech.
Okay, go ahead and make just a straight. I can't remember what your abilities do exactly because you chose this.
I have a deception.
Thingamabob. Go ahead. Yeah, just make a deception check because I'm not really sure if you you can mimic their speech, but doesn't necessarily mean you understand what they're saying. But you
I'm
kind
just
of
trying to
paid.
cast the deception that it's just some uppity prisoners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you kind of like.
Not a coup in the works.
So she kind of throws
Ooh.
forth her voice, and you're like, what the hell? Like you can't believe it's coming out of this person. Precisely mimics one of the Yuan-Ti in this guttural language. You see some of the other prisoners that kind of like look to her in surprise, and some of the commotion begins to die off. There's another like a guttural call, right, that comes back like in your direction, Jasmine.
Hmm.
You're not sure what they're saying. It appears to be like another call.
Okay.
So, by your estimation, they're not that far outside of the door.
Mhm.
They seem to have stopped.
Okay.
They haven't come any closer.
Okay, I guess I'll look to the rallied forces. Ask them, do we wait or do we rush? Make the choice now.
You see
Ele-
them all begin. Suman passes one of the shivs to somebody that's next to him, and he takes one of the 2 scimitars that's off the Yuan-Ti that got jumped.
Can I have one of those?
You might
So
get
I essentially walk up.
yeah, so you take the other one.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of weapons. We shall go.
All right.
One thing. If I were to look around for a smaller rock, could I get an improvised weapon that could be considered? Oh wait, doesn't matter. I can dual wield non-light weapons. So as long as I have a rock that can fit in one hand, I could do an offhand attack with it.
Yeah.
Correct.
You
Okay.
can also do an offhand attack with your fist. But
Well,
I think
yes,
improvised weapon is 1d4, I think.
Yes, it is. But that's one of the things. I've read that normal characters don't have proficiency with improvised weapons.
That is
Would
correct. You
So
do not.
I can add my proficiency bonus to that.
Correct.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah.
But I
I
can
can't
still reckless
remember
attack.
if I think that improvised weapons they only get the 1d4 if
They only get the 1d4.
if you have
Well,
if you have the feat. I'll refer to Makoso real quick. He can tell you.
Hi.
Improvised weapon.
Question.
Is it 1 damage like a punch, or is it 1d4? I think you have to get the feat to have 1d4 in improvised weapons.
No, just one. The feat gives you proficiency, but it's 1d4 in general. Like just going off my memory, but the Tavern Brawler gives you 1d4 on an unarmed strike. Yeah.
1d4.
Okay.
Ooh, so I can throw rocks.
Yeah, you can throw rocks.
That's fun.
Okay. So you kind of pick up a rock.
Is it a numbers check?
Anyway,
Pardon?
yeah. What do you say?
I was just wondering if, when you guys are done, we could get a check of how many bodies we physically have.
Yeah, this is all going on right now.
Yeah.
They one of the UNT called to you. You look back, and they're saying they quickly took a couple of weapons off the bodies and said, "Let's rush it."
Yeah. We're essentially going.
You don't have time to sit there and count. Unless,
But-
I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to say you can't do. You can do whatever you want, but given the circumstance,
But given that we've been living in this room for several days, the best rough estimate we can get how many? Like,
gotta-
as from us.
there's about probably about 22 individuals in this room right now.
Okay.
Actually, closer to 30 because it was right when the labor force came back.
Less than I was expecting, but still a lot.
And you can see
alright.
Felix was of no help in this.
Yeah.
He is meta speaking wise, he definitely has points of exhaustion. He's trying to follow you guys, but he's not really doing anything. Doesn't have an arcane focus. Doesn't really have
Yeah.
a good way to help you guys.
Okay.
But one of Suman kind of takes the keys off of one of the people in the back, and he hands it to his men and tells them to
Oh.
essentially run and unlock the next door cells. What are you guys doing?
We're essentially charging wherever Jasmine tells us to go, because she knows the route.
I see.
Yeah, you quickly peek out, and you see they begin readying their weapons. There are some prisoners that are kind of being held, they're cowering a little bit. And there are now at this point 4 UNT because there's a little mass of prisoners. They hadn't quite split off yet because they weren't that far away from you. And they are slowly encroaching on this door. One of them had called to you. It's now been however many seconds of just silence and muttering on your end.
Alright, we gotta go, or they're gonna call more reinforcements. Alright, so I'm gonna rip the door open and tell them to kill the snakes.
Okay, so as you begin to charge forward, just the people just gush out of the room. One of them breaks off from the pack to go attempt to unlock the other cells with this key ring that he has. And in the meantime, Makoso, what are you doing?
The UNT guard had 2 scimitars, and Archer took one. First of all, can I get the other, or did
Suman already? So
Suleiman.
Suman was the first one. He was like, he took one, and then Artur was like, "Can I have one?" And Suman said, "Yeah,
Right.
sure, whatever, grab it. Let's go."
All right, then I'm gonna proposition Suleiman for his shift that he had. I'd
He
feel
already-
better with a.
He
What's
already
up?
gave it. He already gave it to one of his men. That was like So that was like one thing. Like when I described it, he gave his shiv to like his right hand man, and then he
Mhm.
grabbed a scimitar off the body, and then Artur grabbed the other scimitar.
Gotcha. Okay, no sweat.
Have an extra dagger.
Cool.
Yeah, so as you kind of, we'll say you
I feel
call
better
out.
with the blade in my hand.
Yeah, you call out for a
Yeah.
weapon, and you're like, "Well, I need a weapon," and kind of like
Mhm.
get the response equivalent to like kind of like too late, right? Snooze, you lose. And
Mhm.
as Jasmine kind of like tosses you a dagger, as everybody's like begins to storm out.
I've got
And everyone's like I'm now in drill sergeant mode, so I'm making sure that everyone's like maintaining an orderly line, because there's nothing worse than a stampede where we start trampling ourselves. Like an
Yeah.
orderly march is
This is a fucking
thing.
stampede. This is a complete untrained fighting for your life. Like this is just like the absolute worst you could imagine a fire drill going. That's this moment. They're just fucking rushing out of the door. Like
yeah. This does not sound like stealth.
it is not stealth. It is
Oh
not.
yeah, no, it's not
This
at all.
is fucking chaos already.
Right.
So yeah,
But
Makoto is gonna
but
like
chaos-
mark out a couple things. Like,
chaos is what we want, though.
Yeah, but Makoto's gonna bark a couple orders here and there.
Just trying to keep people somewhat in line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy, watch! Watch! No! You go! Trying to like make sure, because once someone falls, it trips up everyone.
Yeah.
We get out together.
All right.
But yeah, so mostly Makoto's just trying to like keep everyone together and smoothly running, because now that he's armed, he feels comfortable enough that he can kind of slip into soldier mode.
Okay. So as you begin to gear down to the familiar feeling that is war and chaos, you begin barking orders, issuing orders, whatnot. As essentially everybody runs out the door, and then at that point it's just like there's no light in this place either. So, and you guys, that's what I'm trying to think. So only some of you guys can see in the dark. That is a
Just the half elf.
Felix can as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's conscious.
He's not really in a position to do anything, and he doesn't have. I don't even think he has the light cantrip. Somebody else can check if he has the light cantrip.
He does not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think he does. So that's a good fucking thing. We'll say your eyes have adjusted to the dark just enough to be like, it was no problem in the room. You're familiar
He
enough.
does have firebolt. He could probably use that if he fires it with the ceiling to light up the area.
He doesn't. He probably doesn't have a tiny ball of bat guano and salt. Also, he probably can't cast any spells that are not cantrips without a spell book.
Yeah.
That's why I said a firebolt is a cantrip.
Oh, firebolt! I heard fireball.
Yeah, firebolt.
Sorry,
He can
stumbled on the
fire-
word.
He kind of- So he's trying to like help guide, but it's kind of like a strobe light, and even then it's like a little kind of wispy candle, like just enough. But that is a good question. Some other people have dark vision in this. Not everybody is human, but that is definitely going to hinder this big time. Okay, yeah. Alright, so as you guys begin to charge forward, there's a tiny bit of light given off by like the divine energies of Artur. He's glowing slightly, but even that, it's kind of like he's a beacon in the darkness, but it's not really radiating anything crazy. All right. As essentially this wave just kind of like we'll say that, you know what, I'm trying to think if it would make sense. We'll say that the patrols up ahead, we'll say there are 2 torches, because they wouldn't want their people to trip up the whole time. It'd just be annoying. Okay, so we'll say that that's where your light is coming from. That there are 2 torches. They kind of get thrown down to the ground. They haven't quite extinguished, but they begin to diminish a little bit as they like draw their weapons, and just the stampede swarm of people just rushes out of this room, goes over. It's only like maybe 20 feet or so. It just begins essentially taking on these 4 Yuan-Ti. You can see they just begin biting and slashing. One of them is a shaman that casts like an entangle that kind of gets like some of the people entangled, especially being taken by surprise. And with the new prisoners that kind of join you guys, you're able to defeat these 4 as well. Though you guys lose quite a few people. You guys lose. Guys lose 11 people total.
Oh,
Whoa, that's half our force.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So you're also thinking about like you got more when because there were some
right.
that were accompanying them,
Mhm.
but also like, you know, most of these people they're all commoners. They're not like PCs, if you will. You know what I mean?
Discrimination.
So you see there's, you know, whatever, close to a dozen bodies like lying in the shimmer of the torchlight as you guys kind of pick up. There is 1 shaman, 1 archer, and 2 warrior ones here.
I want to grab a bow and arrow if there's an archer. What kind of bow is it?
It is the ones that they have. It's a long
Well,
bow.
yes, but like, oh, okay, it's a longbow.
It's a long bow.
I can still use that.
I know you can use that.
Yeah. How many arrows would I grab if I just grab the cleaver?
Okay, so he just so happens to have 1 arrow left.
Nice.
Yikes.
He had a D20 and he used 2 shots.
Nice.
Is there a scimitar?
Yeah, there are 4 scimitars.
Bingo.
You have to kind of like push out of the way, like you have to muscle in, right? This is chaos, right? So you see Suman takes up one of the torches as he begins like charging forward, like further. He wants to go this
Run.
way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. You're good.
Somebody is free to grab another torch, and as he
Take
kind of
another
like
torch.
running over the bodies, if you will. So we're not going to play out every single scene. The rest of this, I think, is going to be a skill challenge. It's been a few hours since everything that happened with Jube. Why can't I think of Edmund? What happened with Edmund and Ushalas? So, okie doke. All right.
Are we running across the work area?
Not yet. Work area is like way over here.
We're
Yeah.
going there.
Also, to put this in
Yeah, I
perspective,
mean, like it's in the pit.
this is like a 6-mile area. Like when you do labor shifts, it takes like a
Gotcha.
good, whatever. It takes like 45 minutes
Gosh.
to.
I
Like,
didn't realize the scale.
Oh yeah. This is like pretty much a hex. Like, this is
That's why we're taking time to get as many people as we can, because I don't know how many are going to fall.
okay. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna do a skill challenge. So that's gonna be Makosu, Artur, and
Hi.
Jasmine. And just because I don't think Jasmine has been a part of a skill challenge, so Anyway, I like to repeat it anyway. So this is essentially what happens. We're gonna do 2 rounds, and everybody is gonna go ahead and make a check based off something that they are proficient in. You can only do any one skill in a skill challenge one time. So if you want to use your acrobatics, you can't use your acrobatics the second time, but somebody else can use their acrobatics if they're proficient. But so any one person can only use one thing they're proficient in one time. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, 2 iterations of that, and the failures are going to influence essentially how this turns out. All right. So given that even though you do have a couple of torches, it's low light. You don't know exactly where you're going. You do have a map actually, which will help, but you're definitely on somewhat unfamiliar turf. So I'm gonna say the DC is probably gonna be 14 for this. It's gonna be fairly difficult.
Okay.
So all right, so we're gonna go Makoso, Artur, Jasmine, and repeat that. And what you have to do, sorry, is Jasmine, is you have to come up with a good reason why. So if you're like, can Arcana help me in this situation? I'm not going to tell you.
I think
it
I
can.
understand what you're doing here.
Yeah, it's like a theater of the mind. So
Got it.
okay. Anyway, yeah. So as you guys get the torches, you begin to consolidate the force, and you begin to rush forward towards the other holding cells of the prisoners.
Yeah, I see it. So like I said that I was doing, Makoso is drill sergeanting and is trying to keep everyone as orderly as possible as he tries to instill some discipline into these people. Just because we're making a getaway doesn't mean that we need to be sloppy about it.
Right.
So, barking orders. Intimidation or persuasion, do you think? Sounds more like intimidation, but whatever you
Higher.
want. They're the same for me.
Whichever you wish.
Yeah, I think intimidation as I bark orders.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
So as you do that, some of them begin to fall in line. You see Suman. He looks to you and back to the people that are kind of like coming out of line. Do what he says. We work together, or we fail. And they, with the help of him as well, kind of like reinforcing your orders. People are kind of falling in line. All right.
Yay.
So go ahead, Artur.
Essentially, I'm doing raw athletics, just like any enemies we encounter, destroy them. Any doors we find, break it down. Just whatever physical labor I can do to help people. Damn it.
Okay. So as you do that, again, it's not a wide open space, right? So it's kind of like you're trying to go at a good pace, but
Yeah.
like it's not like everybody can dash and you couldn't see. It's not like you could outdash people because you'd be in the dark. So right, so you're kind of trying to keep pace. You do run into like another Yuan-Ti that just happens to be like, seems to be like unarmed, and smaller, but you just like plow him down, like people just like maul him. And go over to the prison holdings, and you're attempting to rip off this like weaved branch, right? These pens, you're trying to like bust into it and break it down, which you are. It's just going a little more slowly than you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, that
Okay.
works.
Jasmine.
So, as he's trying to rip the pages down, I'm going to use a persuasion to try and rally up the people, not only inside the cells but outside the cells.
Essentially to help me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to work with us. If you can push, if you can't pull, if you
Okay.
don't come with us now, you're not going to get another chance.
Okay. Nice. You do that, and people begin to like they're pulling up people that are weakened and whatnot, and they're all like one push, like 1, 2, 1, 2, and they're like just pushing as hard as they can. You see as these posts just begin to and they like snap forward, and people begin spilling out of these pens. Mermond kind of like comes up and joins you, Jasmine. Looks to you. I guess now's the time.
Never.
And that's kind of as much as he gives us. He just begins going with the rest of them and darting down. So you guys, with that mentality, that's kind of the first half of it. You begin rallying up as many people as you can and beginning to make your way where? It'll be a collective. You guys point where it is you're going. So you've, at this point, you know, you've freed as many of these prisoners as you can. That's what you're doing, right?
Did we hit both areas?
Yeah, this is kind of like, I'm saying this one, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
There's only 2 iterations of this skill challenge.
Okay, yeah. So down
It's your map.
past. Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah,
have the
she's-
map, and I've been
like
back
one
and
that
forth
goes
through
with-
this.
She's the only one who knows what she's looking at. So
Because I still have the torch. I'm gonna kind of take up in front, take point,
Yes.
you have the torch, and also you can see anyway. So
but the other people can't see, and I
Yeah.
kind of need that momentum to control a stampede. So I'm going to set a pace, not like full, but definitely fast walking down towards the ruins. We
Okay.
need weapons, and that's where they are.
Alright, so you are headed down towards the ruins. So as you guys head down towards the ruins, you encounter a couple more passerbys. One of them attempts to kind of like reach for his horn and gets off like a as it's cut short, and he's essentially mowed down. You enter the ruins, which are like very well lit because it's like constant labor force, and yeah, you spill out into here, beginning to gather what sort of improvised weapons you can get. Go ahead, Makoso, Artur, and Jasmine. As people are kind of like getting a minute and collecting themselves, Makoso, you kind of quickly go and dig up where your shield is. And
Praise.
you begin to like, you know that there are prisoner cells southward, right? You're kind of like gathering these tools here, and this is the next leg of the skill challenge.
All right, but like, yeah. As we kind of gather our breath here, Makoso is livened again at the sight of the symbol of his people emblazoned on his shield. He's reminded of the blood, sweat, not on into literally putting that emblem on, but also just what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks to the people and these huddled masses, and kind of copies, takes a leaf out of Jasmine's book. He holds the shield aloft after like clearing the debris off of it. In this we are kin, and we will see the light. And he's trying to do the inspire thing as well.
Okay, so as you do that, people are like rummaging through, right? They're trying to get all these weapons, and they begin to pick them up as you thrust your shield to the sky. Go ahead and make the roll. You call this out, and you see, some of them begin to like look upwards as you're doing this, kind of like a beacon. Okay, I just wanted to see before I'm like, Anyway, as you do this, just people, you see like Mermand, you see
Jesus.
other individuals, right, that you recognize, like Suman and whatnot, as well as like a couple of your allies, just like, yeah! There's just like a call that like echoes throughout the caverns.
This is my element, boys.
Yeah.
We're an army now.
While he's doing this like rallying cry because Arthur doesn't need it, I'm essentially running around where I've seen all these tools, and I'm grabbing something that like the closest thing I can find to resemble like a hand axe or a mace or something, trying to get a better offhand weapon.
Okay, so go ahead. So what are you using to do that?
I guess the investigation check, but like this is what I'm doing while I'm there. But I'm just
Okay.
looking for a better weapon as well. Is literally what I'm doing. And actually, no, I'm not proficient in investigation, so I can't do that.
Do you have something that you're? Yeah. Do you have something that you're?
Yeah,
proficient in?
Perception.
Okay.
but I'm not
Yeah, you
great
can
at
use
it.
perception. If you're proficient
Okay.
in it, then you can use.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to try and find like a better offhand weapon.
Okay.
Oh
nice.
wow.
So, and I was going to say this anyway. If you got it, it's just cool that you got a nat 20. So as you're digging through, you actually find one of your hand axes.
One of my hand axes or one of the
It's-
battle axes? There's a difference.
Sorry, one of the battle
Hand axe?
axes. No,
Ooh.
it's a battle axe.
Yeah. Nice.
So as you know, you're kind of got, and somebody like pulls it up before you, and you're like, no, like this is mine, and like you kind of like rip it from their grasp. It's like super dirty, like some of the edges are a bit chipped and whatnot. It looks like somebody's been using it for like a shovel, essentially.
Yeah. The person who tries to take it before I do they look like lean? Do they look like they have dexterity at all? Or are they brutes?
But it just looks like a guy that's
A
like trying to
regular
grab
person?
something. Yeah, it looks
So,
like a regular
well-
person. He's not like super jacked. He's not like super
Yeah.
scrawny. He's just kind of like in betweenish.
As they're going for it, I take my battle axe from them and I hand them the bow and the single arrow, and I'm just like, it's better than nothing, but this is mine. So I give him the long bow and quiver, and
Okay.
arrow.
10-4. So you got a battle axe and a scimitar. Cool.
Fuck yeah.
Nice. All right. So.
A clarifying question. Are there people in the ruins? Because you said it's pretty much 24. So do we have more people now?
This was because there's about a 45-minute and then there's an hour and a half. I'm trying to think. Right. I say about 24/7, but you know, yes, there's always shifts running, but there's still the in between, right, where they're like carting people back and forth. This is a weird time where there are not prisoners right now. Here, there are not prisoners.
Right.
There are not currently prisoners here, because you're
Right, nothing
attacking
marked
them
with.
right as they were coming back.
I want to break off numbers, probably evenly distribute, and go down towards the other grouping of cells because I want more bodies in this. I'm going to do so stealthily. We'll
Okay.
see if we can get a drop on whoever's there and hopefully get more people.
Okay. So you're trying to stealthily make your way over. Okay, so you kind of stealthily, you infiltrate. You can see there's like another shaman down here, another patrol, and you just kind of like by yourself, no torch. You're kind of like leading as you essentially eviscerate one of them and call out an order, and another couple people like kind of come behind you and tackle the other one as you begin to make your way through. You can see just like these as people are like banging on these makeshift pens, and they're just screaming like, "Help! Get us out of here!" Blah! And there's just like a cacophony of screams and whatnot as you know people begin to like follow your lead, and they charge and they begin to essentially break as many prisoners out as possible.
Good.
All right, so. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Okay, so that was only one failure. That was really good. Okay, so as you make your way back to the middle area of the ruins, at this point, you hear just these horns kind of like off in the distance, kind of muffled by the natural cavernous area, and it appears that reinforcements are on their way. enemy reinforcements, if you will.
Okay.
From behind us.
Not from like this direction.
I asked the area.
Yeah, it's
They-
behind us.
Yeah, they went down here. As you guys are making your way back, you can hear that there's a commotion. What do you guys wish to do?
In the rooms, we could probably hide in some of the buildings and wait for them to rush in and do another sneak attack.
That's actually not a half bad idea.
Have the numbers now.
Essentially, try and hide as many of ourselves as possible.
Yeah,
You expect us to hold
definitely-
it?
Yeah, you cannot hide this many people in
Yeah.
buildings, but you can hide some.
So-
Like you could use it as cover for some people.
The
for
best
sure.
armed need
But-
to hide.
But you
Yeah,
don't have
just
like the
one-
whole, like it's not like entire buildings. At this
Yeah.
point, you know what I
Right,
mean?
but
Like
there's
it's
some
just
cover.
like one little floor of this building or that building. It's essentially like a pit that you guys are all digging by hand or with improvised tools. So
But I
We're
guess
not
like
super smart.
we're setting an ambush essentially. Hiding as many people as possible. As soon as somebody comes in, they're going to get fucking stampeded. Hopefully, with our most powerful people in front.
I want to get up high. I still have that hand crossbow.
That's a good idea
Okay.
as well.
So you get up to like the one building that's been excavated the most. There's like a slight, like a corner of a window that you can kind of like find a little cubby hole. All right, and you guys begin to wait for them to put me down as this. Okay, go ahead. Say what you want to say. Closer.
You want us to hole up here and wait for them to surround us?
They're not going to surround us if we're waiting near the entrance. We're going to surround them. But if we run in there like a horde of animals, they could get the jump on us because they expect something is coming. We're making a lot of noise.
Every second we stay down here, they get more prepared. And they gather their forces.
Like, just looking at the map, because I'm dumb, I don't know where we actually are on the map right now. Is there some kind of a bottleneck up ahead?
Yes.
Like,
There is.
is the passage ahead more narrow than where we are right now? So we're approximately right there. And this horn is coming from further ahead? Like up into here?
So you went here. Now
Mhm.
you're coming back to here when you're hearing these sounds. And they're coming from kind of over here. But again, keep in
So-
mind this is like a large distance, so even though it looks like a
Yes.
semi-small path, it's really not that small of a path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We also couldn't
But-
fit our whole force through there, even if we tried to push.
But it is more narrow than where we are right now. If we started moving towards there, we could get essentially as many people in an enclosed space as possible to overwhelm them, because they won't have as much room to move around.
We're living by
there's
keeping them off guard. When we
Mhm.
stop, we lose that.
I kind of actually agree with him at this point. We should keep moving because there's more strategic positions going back.
Uh, Well, I'm not going to cause waves. I want out. If we have to do it brute force, we're doing it brute force.
Okay. And just kind of looks at Miko, so it's just like, if you're sure. Nods his head.
When they gather themselves, we'll sit there waiting to die.
Okay.
Let's
Then we
get
should take
moving, then.
our most well armored and strongest through the bottleneck first.
I will lead.
Perfect.
None of us are armored, right?
Well, I don't need armor.
No, like I'm just making sure we didn't hit like an armor depot.
Yeah, but it's like our best armored. It's just like, well, I guess I'm the closest thing we have. I am the
Yeah.
I mean, I've
armor.
got armor, but I'm not going first. I'm not stupid.
I mean, I'm literally less armored than a commoner.
I kind of am.
Literally everybody is naked.
I kind
How
of
about
am.
Don't forget that.
strongest? And
I
best.
lied. I have 1 AC more than a commoner.
You know, I kind of am stupid, but I'm also. I don't need armor, so. I have 17 AC right now.
Pardon my
Alright,
misspeak.
so-
I meant strongest and best equipped.
So, some more torches that are lit along the wall. Some of the other people are like grabbing them as you know the force kind of moves. All right, you see, as you guys begin to make your way towards the bottleneck, you guys are just going for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna go for it.
You see Grunt kind of like, and he like just is like running forward, like essentially neck and neck with you, Artur. It's just like, and he has essentially kind of like what you had. He just has like this one big, massive like watermelon-sized rock in one hand,
Awesome.
and then in his other hand he just has like this like shitty gnarled like tool. It's totally improvised. Like it is not in any way,
Love
shape,
it.
or form. Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah.
This guy's great.
So, as you all begin to run forth, you kind of bust out into this area, and give me 1 second as we kind of pan over. So,
Huh?
1 second, Edmund. So, you guys
What?
didn't see. You guys didn't see what happened.
We didn't.
It's been. Are you still here? Are you still with us?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Okay. So, as you're dragged through this tunnel, you're just barely staying conscious, right? And you'll see why. I screenshotted it,
What?
so there's no. Anyway, give me 1 second. So you get to about here where there's like that den, and you got.
I'm
you
not on
begin-
the I'm not on the roll 20 page, so I can't actually see.
Oh yeah.
Looking at.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. So you get to that area where like the big den breeding area is.
Right. Yeah.
You begin hearing all these as like all these horns begin going off, and you see like the father just like, and he literally just like forcefully throws you against the wall, and begins walking off, as all of these snakes like they kind of like clear out from the force of him, and then they slowly begin. They're not like eating into you yet. They're just like slowly crawling over you.
And he walked off, right?
And he left you behind. He just walks out. He begins
Literally
walking
just
forward.
use all 3 of my my last first level spells to just pump healing into myself.
There are definitely other Yuan-Ti here around. There would
Like
definitely
that?
I'm still gonna lay there, like I'm not trying to get the snakes off of me, but as he walks off, I'm just gonna under them heal myself, so my wounds start to close up a bit. Not getting up there.
Flame
so
possum.
what are you doing? You're doing cure wounds, or
Yo, cure wounds, yeah.
okay? What is that? Is that I'm trying to see like is it verbal? Is it like because there are definitely people here
Verbal.
that are like going to notice like for sure like like there's a hot if you, that's what I'm saying. It depends how long are you waiting like a minute or two
When-
for him to like go away?
Right.
Are you
Yeah, no. That when he walks away is what I'm waiting for. Not just he throws me and I get up and start healing myself. No, once like I've been waiting for him to get distracted.
You're-
pretty much, and
You're waiting
what I
for an
would-
opportune moment.
Yeah.
The second you get a chance, though, you're taking it.
My intelligence isn't high, but I'm trying to be smart. It really is. It's actually quite.
Oh my
but,
god, I'm so happy.
Yeah, but there, like I said, there appears to be other hostile Yuan-Ti that are like rushing by. It's not like just he
I'm
walks
trying-
away.
I'm
You're
waiting- I'm waiting-
definitely not alone. That's why I'm making
waiting
it
to
very
see
clear
what
that
they
you
do.
are not alone.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what they do. But I mean, if I'm not being attacked by the snakes right now, I'm not gonna worry about it. But I do want to heal myself before they attack. Even if it means being noticed.
Yeah, it's verbal and semantic, so you have to like.
Yeah.
It would be very noticeable if you started
I
healing
mean,
yourself.
could I try to do it sneakily? Could I try to slide a hand in?
I'm I'm gonna say yes, but with a super high DC. Because you're in the heart of where all of the UNT are, and they're literally running by you, and there's a fucking shitload of them. Like, you can look over and you can see, like, you are kind of like, people are actually looking at you, right? Some of the impregnated ones are looking at you because they just saw, like, the father come in and throw a body to the side, and it just so happens he didn't throw you directly into the pit where you've seen before. You're kind of off to the side now, like the snakes on the outskirts are like, what's going on over here?
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Let me know when it clears up. So I'll say sleight of hand.
yeah, so you can. I'm just letting you know it'll be a difficult DC.
I guess what happens if I wait a bit for them to kind of run fast?
I don't know what happens if you wait a bit. That's why I was asking, like, how long do you wait?
About how many you want to run past? With the ball?
You see, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Like they're coming out from like various
that supply area.
Yeah, a lot of them are from the supply area. There are other ones that are just like in this breeding pit, resting area, and they're kind of like carrying this call, and they're all running towards this area.
Okay, I'll wait a couple minutes.
Okay, you wait a few minutes. At this point, you're like almost buried in snakes, and you're like that. It's that nervous like, and you can see like the pile of snakes is slowly crawling towards you. But you wait a few minutes. You see the activity appears to die down. It's been about, we'll say for lack of a return, it's been about like a solid like 2.5 minutes that you wait after all these people rush by. Okay. Alright, and then you can go ahead and, if you wanted to do it now with sleight of hand, it would not be as difficult.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead.
It was just in that moment was like everybody was running by, so it would have been really difficult to not be noticed. Okay. Oh, nice. So I was just gonna have you do just the one anyway. So fine.
Oh.
So yeah. Okay. So you do that. So go for it. So heal up whatever you need to heal up.
Oh, I see. Wait, why did it roll to you? I should have rolled publicly.
That's fine.
Anyway, yeah, that's fine.
It was a 23, y'all.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I don't know why I rolled to GM.
And you're using all 3 first level spell slots for that?
Oh yeah, I'm fucking.
So he's casting it like 3 times.
I'm healing, I'm pumping myself.
Yep.
So,
That's fine.
I
I just wanted to make one check for all of it because I don't want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you do that. So go ahead, do all the healing. After you heal, what are you doing?
After I heal, I'm going to first of all get these fucking crawl from up under these snakes. Get these casts. I'm doing it all while driving. Forgive me.
13, 24.
Nice. So
You're
yeah,
almost like full at that point, right?
as you
No.
channel all this stuff, cool beans.
Pull myself up with the snakes. Oh,
A couple of them are still hanging off you as they.
Yeah.
You stand
and
up,
I'm just like naturally just
And you-
unafraid of them. I've been around snakes.
and you see 2 of the like impregnated UNT kind of like, and they begin they're like reaching out for you, but they're like they can't really move that well.
I just ignore them. Shut up, you fat bitches. I'm gonna head towards the supply area. Try to sneakily head towards the supply area.
Okay, so they're
Can't
kind of
believe you're still
calling after.
alive.
Yeah, they're kind of calling after you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how sneakily you're doing it, but it appears like
Just
all
pressing
the
the wall.
the like armed people that were there are like gone. That they've run past to wherever they were going. So
That's fine.
okay, and you're
Once I get into the
so,
yeah, I'm getting that supply area.
Yep. So now we're panning back. So long story
Yeah.
short, guys, he got stabbed. You guys all saw that, right? He got stabbed,
Yeah?
right? Okay,
Yeah.
and then followed up with a bite. So that's 2
Yep.
failed
Uh-huh.
death saving throws, right? And
Mhm.
the father, he dragged him by his foot back because waste not, want not, right? He was gonna essentially feed him to the brood.
Yeah.
So I said, okay,
Waste not, want not.
Last episode.
you have whisper me, right? Some death saving throws, right? Because I figured he had 2 failed. Like if he fails 1, he's completely dead. Otherwise,
That's where
he's
he went.
not conscious, right? Even if he's stabilized, he's not conscious.
So what the
Probably
fuck
be
did he
dead.
roll?
He rolled
20?
a nat 20.
Oh my
Yep.
And
god.
I have a
Oh my
screenshot.
god.
I have a screenshot of it. Hold on. Let me.
Oh no, I believe it, but oh my
Dude.
god.
super fucking lucky. Like, I was like, nah, Edmund's dead. This is fine. Back new character, whatever. Blah. Natural fucking 20. Are you kidding? Like,
That's
what's
fucking
this
I
guy
have
have?
awesome.
it. There you go. There's a
Yeah.
screenshot. I had to screenshot it because there's no way. So he whispered it to
Yeah,
me
but-
on the side, and that's what I was like, oh fuck, like I didn't want him to die anyway, but I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
this is cool. So anyway, now you
Yeah,
know
Yeah, it was definitely.
that is why he's alive. It was not me being nice. It was
Yeah.
That's
With him
amazing.
being impressive.
yeah. It
Yeah.
is the fucking heart of the cards, is what it is.
But damn it, we had a nice
Hard-
memorial
I-
set up for you.
So
You only posted it to me, I think.
did I? Oh no. Hold on.
Yeah.
I was
Sorry.
too excited.
That is Rick being the bane of DMs.
It's not. It is not the bane of DM. I want you guys to live. I want it to be dramatic. So if
Oh,
you
no,
guys
I'm
live and
just
it's
saying
dramatic,
that-
I'm happy. So
Yeah.
Guy like him can destroy any plans you have.
The fact,
and
yeah,
he is
I'm
a
like
lucky bitch. Like
super
what is
surprised
it?
I
You
walked
got
away
up.
from that.
This is not the first time that you've got up with a nat 20 with 1 hit point and survived. Like you
Yeah.
did it with Throm
It
multiple
is-
times in the last campaign. Like it's just whatever reason, like
Yeah.
the heart of the cards are on your side. So anyway,
Sorry.
Sorry, back to it.
so as you begin to like come through this bottleneck, you are met with a chaotic series as these Yuan-Ti are kind of like lining this cavern, kind of like awaiting for you guys to come out. There are archers, there are shamans and whatnot, and as you step out, it's you guys are pretty, like you guys are like 300 strong. You know, like you got a lot of people, even though they're not unarmored. You get a lot of people, so they just begin like rushing forward, like blah, and as you just see like many people around you just getting like pelted, like, and they're just dropping like flies. There's like entangle spells, like it is a full-blown war in this cavern, and as
Nice.
that happens, you see this dark midnight black figure come out and just like he rushes into the middle and just like skewers a dude through the head, and he looks to you, and that's where we're gonna pick up next time.
Aww.
We're all dead.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff, guys.
So
Now we're killing him.
Oh wait, no, it's not this. 11.
so that was cool.
Oh, yeah. That's.
I was kind of hoping to beat him out, but I guess
You know what I mean, to be fair though, he is weakened. He's not at full health. Some of his
Didn't give him
abilities
time.
have been used up. He's actually under half health. We know that, or I know that. You all, but so yeah. So I know that.
Numbers, he's weak.
Don't worry. You guys got it.
All right, I'm ending the stream.
All right.